When it comes to deadly, creepy crawlies, I've always had a fairly basic philosophy. Tread carefully and carry a very big stick. So you can imagine how thrilled I was to land this assignment. Go bush with a couple of blokes who spend their lives catching the most dangerous, deadliest critters on Earth. And I have to say, I wasn't disappointed. One heart-stopping encounter after another. It takes real guts and a degree of madness, but it's all in a good cause. They're risking their lives to save others. For these creatures and their venom hold the key to many a miracle cure, even the now notorious stingray. While the crowds line up before opening time at Melbourne Aquarium, inside, a unique harvest of deadly poison is underway. The plan is to collect the now notorious venom from a stingray's barbed tail. Steve Irwin's death showed that stingrays aren't to be messed with. But eventually, this ray is outmanoeuvred. And within a few moments, it's in a holding tank. 1, 2, 3. Laced with anaesthetic. With the ray fast asleep, Dr. Brian Fry gets his hands on the precious bounty he's chasing.
The armament on these things is so incredible that literally we need bolt cutters to be able to get this thing off. Voila.
It's like a small branch, isn't it?
Oh, it is.
Oh,
so,
wow. Yeah, I see what you mean about the knife aspect.
Yeah. If you want to hold that for a sec?
Yeah.
You're right.
Whoop.
Just try not to cut yourself. Look how much venom tissue we're getting off of this.
In the field of venom research, this American-born Australian scientist is hailed as the new whiz kid. Along with his wife Alexia, they go anywhere and catch anything, so long as it's venomous.
That's the same sort of barb that killed Steve Irwin.
Yeah, and you can see why too, that even without the venom, you imagine someone stabbing this into you and then ripping it straight out, just the physical wound that it would cause.
It would be like sticking a fishing knife into you.
It would. So it's like some sort of Maori war weapon.
This barb isn't going to kill you if it gets anywhere else in your body apart from, of course, your vital organs. It's a matter of chance.
The aim is to find out what makes this slimy stuff so potent. With samples from 4 stingrays, they now have enough to decode its secrets and hopefully unlock its healing potential.
What do we know about the nature of this poison, Brian?
Absolutely nothing. And that's the part that I found so amazing when we started this project was, despite the huge global medical importance of stingrays, we don't know a single thing about their venom.
The rays were back swimming in a matter of minutes, and in time, they will grow a brand new barb. But in the quest for undiscovered venoms, this is truly the promised land. Brian leads an adventurous team in the search for that elusive compound that could be the next cure for cancer. The Kimberleys are a vast resource of species, the perfect place for an eccentric young herpetologist who loves to get his hands dirty.
Yeah! Woo!
Brian's exhilaration at moments like these is not so much about the catch,
Those paws aren't going to grab me, are they?
No, that's why you have gloves.
but rather
Otherwise, yes,
the
they would be
scientific
shredding your
prize
skin.
locked inside the humble goanna.
So Brian, I mean, this is the breakthrough, isn't it? I mean, before you came along, no one actually realised that these things had venom.
No, the well-known toxic effects from the bites of goannas have been attributed to being from some sort of icky, horrible bacteria, but the speed at which it was working was completely inconsistent with it being bacteria. So that got me thinking about, well, what's going on here? So we went out into the Australian desert and started collecting very large ones like this, And then the first thing we noticed was that large bulge on the lower jaw. But in the reptile anatomy books, that's not even in there. Despite, it just leaps out and says, hello.
Well, it will be now, thanks to you.
Yeah, that's the idea.
I'll give it back. I think it's safer with you than it is with me.
No worries. Go, 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 go!
Run!
Get him! Get on!
Excuse me. On him!
His methods can be unorthodox, and his moves reptilian.
This is easily the biggest olive python that we've caught.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Brian's homemade lizard lasso usually does the trick, although not always.
He actually collided with my legs.
To understand poisons and how they might save lives, he needs specimens, and lots of them. Reptiles, spiders, frogs, you name it, they're after it.
But they have to be poisonous.
Oh, they have to be poisonous, otherwise there's no fun.
Isn't he beautiful?
there he
Look at him go!
The next wonder drug that can make billions of dollars or save your grandmother's life might come from the animal that you just killed on your front yard.
Hey!
For example, if you know of anybody who takes high blood pressure medication, odds are they're taking a class of compound called ACE inhibitors. Now, this multi-billion-dollar drug industry was actually founded by one of the biggest, meanest, most horrible snakes in South America, and the medical importance of this drug cannot be overstated. There we go.
So how would this poison possibly be useful for us?
We've been looking at this in the lab, and we found several different kinds of action. Now, the ones that we're really excited about are actually ones that lower the blood pressure, because those are the ones that have the greatest potential for becoming a new therapeutic.
By now, I've discovered that herpetologists need to be just a little bit crazy. I'm in Papua New Guinea with David Williams, who gets about in shorts to catch the world's most lethal snake. But David's hunt for venom is not about future drugs. He's here to save lives today. His target is the Papuan taipan. If either of us get bitten by one of these, what can we expect to happen to us?
This snake has an irreversible neurotoxin. Basically, once it's done its damage, it destroys the endings of the nerves. Those nerves can't work because they're no longer there. They're gone. They're completely obliterated.
Lovable little suckers, aren't they?
Yeah, mate, so let's grab a couple and be done with it. You only live once.
This palm oil plantation at Milne Bay is prime taipan habitat.
Okay, Liam, have you got the bag?
Yep, got it.
Okay, get it out, mate, extend it. Hold it up about 2 foot off the ground.
Hang on.
These really are the ballistic missiles of the reptile world. They're really fast. They've got long fangs and they've got loads of venom. Drop it down a bit. Down. Okay. Pull the bag up. They defend themselves very well. And they don't start fights, but they finish them. You can see he's got a red mark on the back.
Yeah.
All right? This means it's a taipan.
Snakebite in New Guinea is like a deadly epidemic. Up to 800 lives are lost each year. It's nothing short of a national emergency.
All right? Now, if this snake bites you and you don't get to the health centre in time, you will die, 100%.
David's been working up here for 6 years. All the venom he collects is for one purpose only, to produce anti-venom.
Oh, you cranky thing.
New Guinea is desperately short of anti-venom, so every drop is vital.
So on average you get about 500 microlitres from one of these snakes. And 500 microlitres is probably enough in terms of lethal doses to kill a couple of hundred human beings. And where did it bite her?
This is all in a day's work for David Williams.
We just want to bring you over this way.
He's been called to Port Moresby Hospital's emergency ward to see a taipan victim.
And can you ask her if she can open her mouth and try and poke out a tongue?
He now knows more about the catastrophic effects of a taipan than anyone in New Guinea. because he has to.
We'll get this anti-venom up and running as quickly as we can, but I'd say she's going to have airway problems.
The local doctors rely on his advice.
What do you think, David? Taipan?
Oh yeah, it's definitely a taipan bite. Just from the description of the snake, and we're doing a blood clotting test at the moment, and the results of that will probably confirm it. Check her blood pressure, listen to her heart.
While he's busy with Nora, in the next bed, another young victim's come in.
Mary, did a snake bite you?
And in another ward, there are 3 other young victims. Back in the emergency room, Nora's deteriorating. So David starts the anti-venom straight away.
She's in a pretty bad way. Is she going to be all right?
Well, chances are that we'll probably have to use an airway later to protect her breathing for her.
I'm going to put this run that thing.
Yep, you want to run that?
It's always horrible to see kids suffering like this, but these harrowing scenes are happening every single day in this hospital. And here's the problem. Anti-venom is as scarce as hen's teeth, and when it is available, often it's only on the black market and hideously expensive. In short, the hospital's going broke paying for it, and that means the doctors don't even have the basics to work with.
We have found that unfortunately anti-venom supplied from Australia to the health department is disappearing out the back door of the storeroom, and it's being sold on the streets by local pharmaceutical wholesalers for anywhere up to 2 or 3 times the price.
That price can be up to 10,000 Australian dollars for just 1 dose.
Do you think the black marketeers are aware that they're playing with people's lives?
They don't care, they're only out to make a buck. The gardener's called and said when he cut the grass, the snake went into this pile of tin here.
Just one at a time.
Just one at a time,
David.
mate. Just flip them over.
For every snake in the pharmaceutical business, there's another for David to catch in the backyards and the bush.
What? Just there. There's a taipan.
A snake produces venom, just like we make saliva. So every taipan he catches, he keeps at his lab and milks it every few weeks.
I'll protect you, don't you worry.
Would you care to make a guesstimate on how many lives you may have saved?
I think in the time I've been here, I've probably seen 200 or 300 patients and had some say in how they were managed. And of those, we've sent probably 99% of them home.
That must be a good feeling for you.
It's pretty satisfying. I mean, you know, this is a job that doesn't pay very much, but when you send a kid home from a hospital who could have easily gone home in a wooden box, that's a pretty big payday. He's too powerful. Quick, bag.
In this job, the hazards are enormous.
Down low.
David readily admits to 5 serious bites. Back in Australia, we asked Brian Fry about his near-death experiences.
How many times, Brian?
A couple.
2.
No.
More than 2?
Yes.
The real number is 24 bites. But so far, he's had the last laugh. Because he's still out there, tracking down new species and milking new venoms.
Don't bite.
Our expedition in the Kimberleys turned up this previously unseen snake. Brian's calling it the Kimberley pygmy mulga.
There we go.
Wow, that's a fair bit.
Yeah. So that's the first milking ever of one of these snakes.
It might seem like madness, splashing through crocodile country at midnight. But Brian hasn't got a minute to waste.
Okay, now gotta go up the tree.
We might need a tall person to reach it out.
What is it, Brian?
This is what's called a night tiger.
He's determined his passion for poison will deliver the next medical miracle.
You can see the bulges, and that's where the venom glands are. Every scientist is driven by immortality, where they want to come up with a discovery that lasts longer than just the body itself. Everyone wants to become immortal.
Isn't there a reasonably high chance that in 20 years' time, someone, somewhere around the world, is lying in their hospital bed, in an intensive care unit, and thinking, thank God for Brian Fry?
You know, it's a humbling thought, and anyone who knows me will know that for me, humble thoughts are rare and wonderful creatures.
They're ugly, they sting, and they bite. Prime candidates for a good squirt of Mortine or the heel of a size 12 boot. That's what I used to think about creepy crawlies like funnel webs, scorpions, and centipedes. But not anymore. Not since I met the Bug Man. His name is Ruud Kleinpaste, and he just loves dangerous creatures. The deadlier, the better. As far as he's concerned, bugs rule the world. They're the key to 21st century medicine. Everything from painkillers to a cure for cancer. Nothing's impossible. And for Ruud, Australia is the happiest hunting ground of all. Just don't stand too close when he starts digging around.
I'm looking for this northern funnel-web spider, reputed to be the most poisonous spider in the world. It's brilliant.
Well, give me plenty of warning when you see it.
Yeah, I will.
I'm in a rainforest in far north Queensland with entomologist Ruud Kleinpaste, known the world over as the Bug Man.
But there's also a lot of, what do you call, predators, you know, like...
We're on the hunt for the world's deadliest spider, the northern funnel web.
Now, this looks good.
Well, you haven't found one, have you?
Well, I don't want to go that far. Hang on, look at this. Oh, look! No, look! No, go nosy. Oh, whoa.
She's a country cousin of the Sydney funnel web, but far more dangerous.
Now, you're going to try and catch this now, are you?
I'm going to go. I need to have a look at that. I mean, I didn't come all the way here to not look at it. Come on. But how are we going to get it? I've got to be careful. I'm actually a bit nervous now.
I'm not surprised.
I've never done one of those.
This is hairy stuff. The venom of this little spider is so toxic it can kill with a single bite.
Don't get your fingers too close.
No. But I got myself a little container. Oh,
well, just theoretically,
yeah.
What would happen if that bit one of us now? How long would we have?
Well, you can't land a helicopter here, so I would say you've got 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Yeah, that's approximately what they think they should allow, yeah.
But there's no anti-venin anyway.
Yeah, well, they're working on it.
Well, they haven't got one yet.
Yeah, but they have to be a bit quicker then if I get bitten. Here comes.
Spending time in the jungle with Ruud Kleinpaste isn't for the
You
faint-hearted.
hop, go in. Good boy. Go on. Hang on.
But there's method to the madness. He's on a global quest to harness the venom of our deadliest bugs and turn them into life-saving drugs.
You can put him in your bag to go back.
We've only discovered maybe a 15th, a 20th or a 30th of what is here. And these creatures rule the world chemically. Bugs rule everything chemically. Now, if you take a good look at them, you'll discover new things and you'll discover new ways to apply these chemicals to our own benefit. Medicine, new technology, whatever, you name it.
You name it, and Ruud's done it. All in the name of science.
You once covered yourself with African killer bees?
Yeah, about 50,000.
No offence, but you'd have to be a bit of a nutter to do that, wouldn't you?
Really? Yes, I agree.
Remember, these are killer bees, and they behave with a swarm mentality. If just one decides to sting Ruud, the rest of the 50,000 would follow. He'd be dead in seconds.
I wanted to demonstrate, if you know how these even killer bees communicate with each other, and if you can somehow jump within their communication channels, you can make them do things that everybody thinks you're nuts to do that. And I proved that. I put a queen pheromone on my face, which calmed the bees down. They thought I was the biggest queen in Texas. I tell you what, mate, rock's always good in Australia. Let's see what's under here.
Unorthodox he may be, but there's no doubting Ruud's dedication.
Here you go.
The more poisonous the critter,
This is a scorpion.
the more useful it can be, and the more determined he is to track it down.
Some scorpions from memory have got protein in their venom that they can use, the proteins, to target brain cancers. That protein makes a beeline for the cancer in the brain, and it is like a direct line to the source without chemotherapy. So biochemists are actually looking at these scorpions, these tails. Oh, look, come on. Yeah, oh, look, see that? Bungee jumping straight away. Fantastic.
Are you saying that won't bite you?
Well, no, I hope not. Yeah, it's doing it now. It's biting me, all right, because it doesn't want to come off my jersey. You want to have a hold? Come on, have a hold. Here you go.
You are
hand
kidding.
up.
You're kidding, aren't you?
Oh, come on, hand up. Here you go. That's you. That's you. That's you. See, and because I'm holding on to it,
What are you doing?
it's trying to get away from my fingers, but it's not going to.
This is not my idea of fun.
No, it isn't, but it shows you, though, how absolutely brilliant they are at holding on.
Why hasn't the venom of a lot of these bugs been studied already, Rude?
Nobody's had a go at it. We've always looked at plants, penicillin, fungi and things like that. We've looked at all the things that we found in the bush in terms of botany. But nobody's actually looked at bugs properly.
For 50 million years, bugs have ruled the world, all the while evolving and adapting their various potions and poisons. For hunting, for defence, or simply to attract a mate. Modern medicine is only just catching up.
Nature's been building this up for millions and millions of years. She's the best chemist out. She's the best drug designer out. Doing things which we are only starting to do in the test tube in the last 10 years. And she's been doing this for 50 million years, perfecting it.
Professor John Paul Bingham shares Rude's passion for poison.
So I'd recommend not picking up the rocks with your bare hands.
Together, they're working on bringing pain relief to terminally ill cancer patients with the deadly venom of a tiny sea creature, the cone snail.
You have hundreds of different little proteins in that venom. They could be the next huge discovery.
What should I be looking for? Are they going to be sticking out of the sand?
Well, you're going to see shapes in the sand.
Bingham travels the world for the cone snail venom. Today, he's brought me to Lizard Island on the Great Barrier Reef.
And what we're going to do, we're going to then carefully pick them up with our glove.
The cone snail is proof positive that humble bugs can offer modern medical miracles. The venom we collect today may one day replace morphine as the world's strongest painkiller.
Oh, look at that. Oh, dude, that's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah.
Can I hang on to it? Is it
Sure, by all means.
safe to hold?
Yeah, just make sure the foot of the animal's inside the shell. So they like to be enclosed in the shell so they won't get their venom apparatus sticking out.
So at which point do I panic? When the foot actually comes out?
That's correct. That's correct. And this is where the venom apparatus will come out.
Back in the lab, the cone snail is milked of its deadly venom, using a fish as bait to provoke an attack.
You see the proboscis extending.
When it strikes, the venom apparatus fires at lightning speed.
How fast is it?
It's about 200 meters per second.
200 metres per
That's
second.
correct. So now we have the cone shell attached to the container, injecting through the fish.
How many people potentially could that kill?
That could mostly kill about 15 people, that one milking.
This is the best breakthrough for pain control in the last 2 decades.
Professor Paul Aylwood of Queensland University is developing the cone snail drug for commercial use. It works like no current painkiller, with none of the addictive properties or side effects of morphine. Morphine's a pretty strong painkiller. Is this more powerful than morphine?
This one is. Ours would be roughly 1,000-fold more potent.
Already, Sydney's Royal North Shore Hospital has conducted trials of the cone snail drug on terminally ill patients, pumping it directly into the spine.
Any improvement last night after the top-ups yesterday?
Yeah, when I got home, things were pretty good.
More testing is needed, but early results show a single dose gave some patients days and even weeks of relief.
So you got more comfortable and you had a bit of a doze off. Okay, that's it.
It's a revolution of discovery. This is a whole new source of new drugs that are going to enable treatments that we've never been able to conceive of.
It's totally out of this world. I mean, what has a cone snail got to do with a cancer sufferer on land? That's the nice thing about nature, though. Oh, here you go. Hey, centipede. Wait. Whoa. Where's my stuff?
And communing with nature is where Rude is happiest.
Yeah, hang on. Yeah, wait. Oh, I don't want to near my knees. These things bite.
Out in the rainforest, getting up close and personal with the deadliest creepy crawlies on offer.
Give me a yellow.
Here it is, here it is.
Wait, where?
Over here.
Okay. Oh, neat. Oh, no. Don't. Mate, this is quick.
Are they venomous?
Oh, yeah. I've been bitten by one of those, Liam, and I lost all control of my arms. Paralysis for about 2.5 hours. Oh, centipedes. Killing machines. Look at them. They hate
The
the
bug
light.
man is convinced this is the world's best pharmaceutical laboratory.
I see this creature as the new provider of bandages and wound dressings in the next century. They make silk that is actually impregnated with antibacterial and antifungal material.
And he's prepared to go to any lengths to prove that these deadly critters are far more friend than foe.
There's a little trick you can do with these things.
No.
And you keep your eyes closed. And you let it just walk. Just like that.
That's the most insane party trick I've ever seen.
Yeah, I used to put them in my mouth, but they've outgrown me a bit. No.
Do you think the potential in these medical miracles will give them the PR they deserve?
Yes, it's going a great way towards it. You'll find that people with heart attacks will suddenly say, my life was saved by a tarantula. And the venom of a tarantula, no less. Or my infection is being cleared up by some antibiotic or cockroach antibiotic. Even the maggots are being investigated with all these materials, you know, and it's brilliant. Yeah, I think we've got a lot to learn.
I've just been to the ultimate family reunion, an incredible journey through time that began with my mum and dad in Taree, New South Wales, and ended with my long-lost relatives in the heart of Africa. Like many Australians, I caught the ancestry bug and decided to research my family tree. But as usually happens, I soon hit a dead end. After a few generations, all the written records simply dried up. Then science came to the rescue. Turns out we all carry our family history with us, a secret code hidden in our DNA. And that code eventually took me back 2,000 generations, more than 60,000 years, to where we all began. Africa, a landscape of staggering beauty and home to some of the most fantastic animals on the planet. And it's here that so many of our childhood dreams and stories began. But the greatest story here is man. You may not know this, but we all share a common ancestor, a man who lived here on the savannas 60 to 70,000 years ago. I'm directly related to the descendants he left behind, and so are you. The proof is in our blood, a secret code hidden in our DNA, a map that shows each of us the journey of our ancestors out of Africa.
It's almost magical. Think about it. I mean, you can rub something on the inside of your cheek and send it off to a laboratory, and there some sort of alchemy goes on, and we can tell you things about your past that perhaps you never knew or never suspected. So it is amazing.
It's the secret we all carry.
Yeah, it's inside of nearly every cell in our body.
Scientist Spencer Wells is a DNA detective, and I've entrusted some of mine for his forensic examination. Spencer's going to tell me the story of my family, a story that, as it turns out, I barely know beyond the first chapter. I grew up on this dairy farm in northern New South Wales. My family name was Ryan. We've lived here for more than 100 years, and it's here my extraordinary journey begins. This is your dad?
William Oscar, that's right.
He's the quintessential Irishman, isn't he? He looks absolutely Irish to the core. My parents, Brian and Pat Ryan, don't know much about our ancestors, apart from photographs and memories of immediate family members. This is the whole family.
Yep. My grandmother, my mother, eldest brother, Jack.
Who's that's you, is it?
Have to be me, being the youngest.
This is quite a family tree, Dad.
Yes.
How the hell are we going to find any of these people? I mean, it's really difficult to know who's who, to be honest. If we trace the scant paper trail, it seems both Mum and Dad hail from Tipperary in Ireland. By and large, we are Irish stock. That's what you're telling me.
Pretty much.
Yes.
No doubt about that?
Well, I mean, like, I don't want to...
Don't want to frighten me.
I don't want to face the firing squad for making a mistake.
Mum needn't worry. Seems nearly every Rhine in the world comes from Tipperary, and our mob from a tiny village called Cullen. This is dairy farming country, no surprise there, and there are still plenty of Rhines here.
Oh, that's your tart now.
Oh my gosh.
And don't you have more? I want the brown
Christopher Rhine and his wife Joan welcome me into their home as if I'm a long-lost cousin.
No matter where you walk around this town, this place,
It's easier, yeah.
you'll find Rhines.
You will. You don't go very far across the field of another Ryan. You go far over the road, you know another Ryan, haven't you? Any direction you go.
Not much has changed on these farms in 150 years. What do you use it for?
Held them, they're called.
Sorry?
Held them.
Oh, for herding. Okay.
And I get a sense of what life might have been like for the original Rhine, packed up and left for Australia. I know from written records that my great-great-great-grandfather, William Rhine, was born and baptised here in Cullen, Tipperary in 1816, and that when the opportunity arose, William, a groom and coachman, set sail for Australia when he was 25. But of his mum and dad, Nora and William, I know so very little. Like so many others tracing their family tree, I've discovered that there simply aren't any more written records. William and Nora are probably buried here, but these graves are so worn and weathered, even that which is written in stone has been lost forever.
Trying to build a family tree. I mean, you trace back through the generations, and everybody hits what they call a brick wall eventually. And, for some people that happens within a generation or two, and for some it happens 1,000 years ago or more. But eventually everybody hits that point where there is no written record. And so how do you get beyond that? Well, you're carrying that story in your DNA.
Spencer Wells is a geneticist who set up the Geographic Project, a 5-year mission to map mankind's family tree.
I've got some really exciting news.
Oh, good.
Let's
Okay.
take a look at it. I'll show you.
Yeah.
If you look at this particular position, see that change from C to T?
T, yes.
That's the marker.
Our DNA is made up of a string of letters, but every now and then, nature produces a glitch, a marker that gets passed on to our children. By following these signposts through the remaining populations of ancient ethnic groups, Spencer Wells can work out how the human family spread across the world.
Basically, you're trying to find Adam.
And Eve. Yeah, I mean, the ancestors of all of us. Yeah, the ancestors of all of us.
And so begins the next story in my journey, as I use my own DNA to travel to a time and place I'd never have imagined.
Before you were in Ireland, you were probably among some of the first people to make it into Europe out of probably Central Asia or the Middle East.
Let's go back 500 generations. That's 15,000 years. My ancestors hadn't arrived in Ireland yet, but the DNA in my blood tells of an extraordinary journey. My ancestors came from Central Asia, following the herds of animals they'd learned to hunt. They lived in places like this, the rugged mountains of southwestern France. But who were they, and were they so very different to me? Well, to answer that, you have to go deep underground to find the messages they left behind. It's huge.
It's a big cave, but that...
In the Neo Caves in the Pyrenees, archaeologist Yannick Leguillot is leading me in the footsteps of my ancestors.
10,000 years ago, they've decided to walk for more than 800 meters in the dark of the cave with very little light, and to go to a very special shaped chamber, draw one over the other.
It's amazing to be here, isn't it? To see where, so many thousands of years ago, somebody stood and drew a painting.
The place is the same. In most of the caves, the place is the same. Time has stopped, and all those things give a lot of emotion, that's true.
Yeah. They're like postcards from the Paleolithic. These were people like us, able to use their imaginations and think and act creatively.
They were great artists. I'm sure they had pleasure drawing this eye, for example, this buffalo eye. And maybe from where you are, but sure from where I am, it seems practically the bison is looking at me.
So where did these early Europeans come from? My DNA journey takes me back in time to the vast hunting grounds of Central Asia, where my nomadic forebears roamed 35,000 years ago, following a grassland superhighway that stretched across the continent.
Basically, following food. It's interesting to speculate that perhaps we have some kind of genetic predisposition to wanderlust, that we get bored easily and we want to check out what's over that next hill, but in all likelihood it was simply following the game.
And before Europe, before Asia, well, that's where my journey ends and where it all began. The home of my ancestors and yours, Africa.
Well, I was a black woman.
Yeah, you were. Now you have this connection, this direct genetic connection to the people living there.
I do indeed. And it's a fascinating thing to tell my immediate family that we're all sand bushmen at heart.
That's right.
Hello.
Hello. These are my very long-lost relatives from 2,000 generations past, the sand bushmen of the Kalahari Desert.
Anna. How are you? Anna.
Remarkably, DNA detectives like Spencer Wells can pinpoint with certainty that it's from this African homeland all modern man evolved. Only a few of these nomadic tribes survive, but little about them has changed.
And the seeds?
She said you must swallow it, and it must come out when you go to the toilet so that it can grow again. It's very important to swallow it to help with nature. It's just saying the melon makes you nice and fat, and you need to be fat before you start a long journey.
Thank you. Milky Bowers is one of only a handful of white people who speak their remarkable Click language. She grew up on a farm here in the Kalahari with Bushman kids, witnessing their incredible ability to live from the land, the way they have for tens of thousands of years.
Just their survival skills. It's amazing. You would walk in the bush, you'll see flowers and trees, but when you go with them and you concentrate on it, it's amazing that you can get water and food and medicine and everything from the bush that we don't see.
They really are self-sufficient.
Totally, yeah. A bushman can survive anywhere in the Kalahari.
If we are all from the sand bushmen, how come you don't look like one and nor do I?
Well, we have adapted to the climate as we've moved around. The best guess is that we had darker skin when we lived in Africa. It gets a lot of sunlight, and so we had to have a natural sunscreen.
It's a little hard to comprehend that these are my true beginnings, the origins of us all.
It's extraordinary given that we're so different.
Well, I suppose we've been watered down, that's why.
We've been watered down?
Wow. And for the sand bushman, whose existence hasn't changed for centuries, it seems to make sense as well.
We're now being told that, even I, you, all of us are ultimately descendants of these people.
He didn't realize it, but to him it makes sense that there must have been a beginning for us to get this to be this many people.
While this has been a story about my family, it is in fact everyone's story. A truly epic journey out of Africa. And what's even more remarkable about this journey is not so much the differences it reveals between us, but what we all share.
What's clear is that if you look underneath the surface, we're all incredibly similar, 99.9% identical at the genetic level.
Which is amazing, isn't it?
It is. We're all effectively members of an extended African family.
Just imagine, you're having a checkup and the doctor says he wants a second opinion. So he calls in the family pooch. Actually, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. It all began 20 years ago when a young woman named Jill Lacey noticed her dog wouldn't stop sniffing a mole on her leg. Finally, she saw her doctor about it. The mole turned out to be cancerous, and to this day, Jill's convinced the dog saved her life. Since then, there have been dozens of similar stories, but the medical establishment has consistently scoffed at the very idea dogs might be able to help diagnose cancer. Maybe this will help change their minds. Do you believe your dog saved your life?
Yes, I do. Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely?
Yes. Oh, bless you. Look at your hair.
When Jill Lacey was just 19, her dog Trudy took an unusual interest in a mole on her leg.
She'd sniff at it and she would sort of nibble at it or lick at it. But she would sniff at it suspiciously.
You could tell she was wondering.
Yes, it was like she didn't really like it, but she felt she had to come over.
Jill finally plucked up the courage to go to the doctor. And his reaction?
He just said, well, that's interesting. He said, I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but we'll get it removed just to see.
And it was malignant?
Yeah.
And that obviously meant a greater operation?
Yes, yeah. I've got quite a wide scar.
It was stories like this that caught the attention of English doctor John Church. I didn't know that cancer had a smell.
Nor did we.
Right, again. Dr. Church is a retired orthopaedic surgeon who is pioneering new research to show that dogs can smell cancer.
It's fair to say every biological process gives off molecules which are distinctive.
But gives off a smell that we humans don't seem to be able to pick up.
Don't necessarily know anything about. But we have lost our sense of smell in our modern way of life.
In a lab outside London, a Cocker Spaniel called Tangles is about to demonstrate Dr. Church is right. That medical science has found a revolutionary new way of detecting disease. A device with 4 legs and a great nose. Today, using urine samples, trainer Claire Guest will test just how often her dogs can get it right.
But today the cancer sample is going to be in this position 3.
Only one of these containers holds a sample of urine from a bladder cancer patient. The rest are healthy specimens.
When he comes across this cancer sample, he'll lie down beside it. Good boy, Tangle. Seek.
It takes Tangles just a few seconds to find the cancer.
Good boy. Yeah.
Well
good
done.
boy.
The samples are switched, and every time, Tangles gets it right.
It's more than clever. Brilliant. He's your star performer.
He is indeed, yeah. See how much he enjoys it.
He does.
Over the course of the morning, Claire puts 3 more dogs through their paces. And every time, they too get it right.
Boy, yes!
A 100% success rate.
Good boy, yeah!
And they're already saving lives.
What a clever boy!
You've had a situation where dogs have detected cancer in a sample that you didn't think had cancer.
That's right, that came through from the hospital as somebody who was not believed to have cancer. But the dogs, my 2 advanced dogs, persistently indicated on this sample to the point where I couldn't teach them to ignore it. So we spoke with the medics at the hospital, and they ran some further tests and actually found the gentleman had a small tumour on his kidney.
I mean, that's an extraordinary result, isn't it?
Absolutely, and saved his life, and he's written to us and thanked us very much. So, well, thank the dogs.
Succeed.
These dogs haven't always stuck to the script, sometimes surprising even their trainers.
We had a bunch of folk, VIPs, came to see our work, and after our demonstration, one of our dogs, having just done their run, went straight up to one of the ladies in the room and indicated on her. We saw the dog, took it rapidly away into a kennel, but later discreetly asked. She had cancer of the bladder.
Get a big old ham, don't you? Oh, that feels good, huh?
I am convinced, without a doubt, that she found that cancer because she was going to that one spot the whole time.
Oh, I got a kiss. Oh, yes.
In Northern California, Nancy Best has a similar story to tell after her dog Mia began to behave strangely.
I was laying down on the couch in between some of my shifts, and she would come in at the beginning and she started sniffing and licking right here at my right breast. She did this for about 3 days, and I didn't pay any attention to it.
You hadn't been unwell?
I was tired, and I had seen a few doctors, and I had also had a breast exam from a doctor that came out negative just 4 months prior.
Despite the all clear, Nancy decided she couldn't ignore Mia.
She was persistent on trying to make me pay attention, so that's the miracle part, I think.
When she went for further tests, she discovered she did have breast cancer.
Was it an aggressive cancer? Or?
Yes, it was it was stage 2 invasive ductal carcinoma.
You're a lucky woman.
I am. I feel very blessed. I feel blessed that I get a second chance, for one.
Do you believe that your dog saved your life?
I know she saved my life. Yes, I do. I do believe she saved my life.
My question would be, how many more people have gone to doctors with these stories and the doctor has said, forget it, tell Fido to shut up, and we'll never hear the story?
Have you had colleagues laugh at you?
Yes, or behind their backs a bit.
And what's your response to that?
Oh, I just soldier on, because we know that we're going to have tremendous results.
And why not? We use dogs to sniff out bombs, detect drugs, rescue earthquake victims, even pinpoint the starting point of fires. But now we know their sense of smell is even more remarkable. In this trial at Florida State University, dogs are able to pick out a chemical diluted down to 2 parts per trillion. That's like finding a pinch of salt in 10,000 tons of potato chips.
Sounds remarkable and incredible now, but not so if you consider that dogs are used in forensic medicine or in archaeology, and that a dog can sniff out human remains that have been buried under 15 to 20 feet of soil for 20,000 years or more.
Just outside San Francisco, medical researcher Michael McCulloch is discovering just how amazing these dogs are.
That was Ida, right?
Yes.
With stunning success in detecting lung and breast cancer.
In lung cancer, that ranged between 97 and 99%. In the case of breast cancer, it ranged between 88 and 97%.
So that accuracy was incredible.
It's a stunning finding, and we were quite pleased to see how well the dogs did.
The beauty of this is not only can you train a dog to detect cancer, but detect cancer early.
That's right, exactly.
But instead of urine, dogs are being asked to analyse a patient's breath.
Good.
The ultimate outcome would be what?
The ultimate outcome would be a breathalyzer for cancer.
Not unlike our alcohol breathalyzer.
That's right. Alcohol is a compound that's foreign to the body, and it's coming out in the breath, and we believe that disease will have a similar kind of scent bouquet or signature.
Patients breathe into these canisters. Moisture and odours are then absorbed into a cartridge of fibres.
Most of the compounds in breath that come out and are detectable, they're in the droplets of moisture that come out in the breath. And as the water evaporates, it leaves behind the odours.
Odours that on one occasion left researchers stunned.
We decided to see whether a dog could detect a breath sample that was 5 years old. And we placed it in the lineup, and sure enough, the dog went right to that and identified it.
Come on, that's the guy. Ready? There we have it.
Back in England, John Church is already planning what could be the ultimate PET scan.
We might, shall we say, have at any given time 8 dogs that are trained, shall we say, to recognize bladder cancer. Your sample, the patient's sample, would come to me and go out to the 8 dogs, wherever they are in the country. By the end of the next day, you've got 8 consultant opinions. Doggy ones. And who goes and seeks out 8 consultants in a day? Not too many people. You've got a magnificent diagnosis. You can say categorically to your patient, these dogs are saying this.
And for those who've been saved by their pets, well, they'd be happy to see a good old-fashioned personal consultation. The dog sitting beside the doctor in the surgery as a way of scanning people.
It would be great fun, wouldn't it? And actually, I think it'd make visits to the doctors much more pleasant.
The possibilities, it seems, are endless. We've all heard it a million times, but has it ever been more true? The humble pooch really is man's best friend. And for those mums and dads who are listening to you now, I mean, what would you say to them?
You realize that they are wonderful, majestic creatures in their own right, and watch their behavior. If there's something, for good or ill, if the dog is behaving in a funny way, take note. Take note.
It also makes a compelling argument for a family dog.
Every family should have a dog.
Brace yourself, you're in for a very confronting experience. 1 second, she's a sweet 16-year-old. The next, Bianca Sayers, is a violent, cursing monster. A girl seemingly possessed. Bianca has Tourette syndrome, the worst case doctors have ever seen. Uncontrollable fits, bizarre tics, tirades of abuse. By the time I met Bianca, she was at her wit's end. So too, her long-suffering family. But then came hope, radical brain surgery, an amazing operation that could help Bianca win back her life. I should warn you, some viewers might find Bianca's language and behaviour offensive.
What am I doing?
This is the awful, confronting reality of Tourette syndrome for Bianca Sayers. This 16-year-old has the most severe case of Tourette's in Australia. And it's brutal watching her lose the struggle for self-control. First diagnosed with an innocent blinking tic when she was 3, Since then, Bianca's got progressively worse, unable to suppress her violent outbursts or her language. Even with her parents, John and Lee, trying to restrain her tics, nothing can prepare you for meeting this troubled young woman.
The lady I've been waiting to meet. Hello. Hello.
This is an important day, the eve of a groundbreaking brain operation that is Bianca's only hope of a normal life. But Bianca also wants a chance to explain the cruelty of suffering Tourette's.
Do you want to come and sit down?
And why it makes her hit out and swear the way she does. It's a tough and challenging chat for all of us.
Where am I sitting? I want to get rid of my tics, have a better life. Oh, I'm sorry, Mum.
It's okay. It's all right, darling.
So how do you explain... Can you explain right now why you're doing that?
No. Well, it's a chemical... So it's a chemical imbalance in the brain.
Oops.
It's a chemical imbalance in the brain and it causes you to do sudden movements or yell out things that you can't have no control over. You don't have any control over it. So,
do you know why you want to hit your mum?
I don't. I hate hitting my mum. I hate hitting everybody. If I had one wish, I would take that away.
Of course. And do you know why you want to hurt yourself?
Because I get a feeling in my body, and I have to hit it to make it go away.
What's that feeling like?
I can't explain it. It's not like a normal feeling. It's just, I just can't explain it.
So now how often do you guys come up to visit? Is it every 2 weeks?
18 months ago, John and Lee made the heartbreaking decision to send their daughter to live at this adolescent mental health centre in Brisbane. Bianca can no longer attend normal school or do most things teenagers do.
Any fish in there?
No, I don't think so.
But Tourette's hasn't squashed her bubbly personality.
Do you want a radish?
I'd love one, thank
I'll give
you.
you a big one.
Oh,
because
you're
special.
Thank you.
Bianca's more than happy to show off the centre's veggie patch.
Oh, okay.
This is where we grow the plants, the plant in the ground.
The seedlings, right, okay.
Just watch out for the Tourette's swing.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. Tell me as parents what it's like to have your eldest child, very much still a girl, sent away from home.
It's devastating.
Well, I'm just a simple bloke. I just want to have my family together. It's hard.
Yeah. Is part of it the loss of control, that you just can't do anything?
It's impossible. Can't do nothing.
It is. It's like having your hands tied. There's nothing we can do to help her.
Welcome to our home.
Thank you. Home under siege.
As you can see.
For this proud Queensland cop, the impact of living with Tourette's is most easily understood in the battered family home. Every door, every wall has Bianca's mark. This house has been patched up many times, but now John and Lee are resorting to reinforcing it with steel. And the bathroom has to be seen to be believed.
So you can see this is where most of her frustration happens.
Straight through the tiles?
Straight through the tiles.
Looks like you've had a poltergeist through here.
We considered an exorcism.
Yeah, we have discussed that.
It's a great thing about this couple that they can still laugh, but Bianca's bedroom is a reminder of all they've lost.
I guess you really want her home, though. Yeah.
It's hard not having her here.
It'd be incredibly difficult.
It is.
Can you understand why you can't live at home?
Fuck off. No, bitch! Sorry. Yeah, because I guess from all my tics frustrating me so much, and so I guess just going home at the moment will be too hard on everybody. So yeah.
I've read somewhere that if you try and... Did you just break the table?
Yes. That was
Look
just
at that. I'll just keep that over here. Oops. As many as 1 in 200 people have Tourette's, but very few have the severe symptoms Bianca suffers. What's so confounding about this neurological disorder is when the tics can and can't be controlled. Putting on ice skates is almost impossible, but on the ice, playing with her brother Tim, Bianca's a different girl. And for a brief moment, this is a happy family. And I guess Tourette's is so hard to understand because, you know, you can ice skate.
Fuck off!
And you can do that?
No!
Yeah. And you can dance? How can you do that if you've got these tics, these uncontrollable tics?
I guess if I set my mind to something and really focus on it, I can do it, because it makes me, what's the word? Sorry.
Okay. I think it is the love of what she's doing.
It distracts my thought of my tics, and I focus on something else. Sorry.
Anything that comes from it within, I think. The ice skating, the dancing, singing, all comes from her heart.
Yeah. Lee, what is it that's really upsetting you right at this moment?
Seeing her like this. It's the last thing a parent wants, is for their perfect child. When I had Bianca, I just looked at her and couldn't believe that something so perfect. I made that, and then for something to go wrong, it's a nightmare. I never want that for my child, and I love her so much.
At the Sayers family's lowest point, they were finally given hope by this man.
This is how Jeff Matovic lived his life. Trapped in a body he couldn't control.
2 months ago, Peter Overton reported the story of American Jeff Matovic, a sufferer of severe Tourette's who underwent an operation called deep brain stimulation. It changed his life from this.
How about repeating, "It is a sunny day in Cleveland, Ohio."
It is a sunny day in Cleveland, Ohio.
To this.
It's a sunny day in Cleveland.
Bianca saw Jeff's story, saw his incredible transformation, and asked if a deep brain stimulation operation might work for her.
I just cried, and I was so amazed, and I rang up Mum and I said, "Mummy, could they do that for me?" I want to get better so much. I've gone through so much, and I just hope I get a break.
When you first saw her going through one of her tics, how did you react?
I've got to say, when I saw that, the first thing that came into my mind was, we're going to fix this girl. Big thing we're going to aim for is the motor tics.
Brisbane neurologist Professor Peter Silburn has done more than 300 brain stimulation operations, but mostly on patients with Parkinson's disease, never on someone with Tourette's. In fact, the surgery has never been done before in Australia.
How risky an operation is it?
Always risky. Anything to do with the brain is risky. It can bleed, you can stroke, you can die.
This is how the deep brain stimulation will work. 2 electrodes will be placed deep in Bianca's brain where faulty neurons cause the Tourette's. The probes are connected to a battery which will be put in Bianca's side. The electrodes basically reset the misbehaving brain cells, and if it all goes to plan, most of the tics should disappear.
There's a part of the brain that is not in harmony, and so we have to get down to that area and reharmonise it, and we do that by outpulsing it with electricity.
So now tell me what the doctors have told you about what to expect from this operation.
They... dickheads. No, sorry, they're very keen on it's going to be successful, but there's also a thing that might happen that it might not get any better too.
Yeah.
So...
And how much does that worry you?
A lot, because I'm dreaming of getting better, and if I go through all this and nothing happens, I'll be devastated. I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I just pray to God this works, because if it doesn't, there's nothing else.
It's the big day at St Andrew's War Memorial Hospital in Brisbane.
So we'll take it from the doorway, guys.
Everyone here is calling it B-Day, Bianca's Day. The first step is an MRI to map the brain so they know exactly where to put the probes.
Are you excited at this point or anxious?
We're on a mission. We're on a mission here, so we'll stay focused.
In the operating theatre, this moment could be the difference between a normal or wretched life for Bianca. It's surgery where precision means everything. The man with the steady hands is neurosurgeon Dr. Terry Coyne. He's placing the first electrode in Bianca's brain.
And there it goes. We're in the zone.
They can now read Bianca's brain activity on this computer. Professor Silburn's job is to make the call when the probe is in the right spot.
So how deep in the brain are you right now?
We're in there, baby.
You're in here?
We're in here.
Right.
Just deep.
This procedure will take 3 hours. But for waiting family and friends, it's never ending.
This emotion's very close to the surface, John.
It is.
Well, she sleeps like an angel.
She does. She looks like an angel when she's asleep too.
Back in surgery, doctors are making sure they haven't hit Bianca's optical nerve centre or any other delicate areas. It looks like the probe is exactly where it should be.
So, look, we're happy.
You're happy.
We're happy.
It makes me feel good.
Just about this one. We're going to just do it the other side.
Okay.
It's just gone lunch and the operation is over. Bianca is now moved to intensive care. Doctors turn on her battery pack to power the electrodes, but unlike many Parkinson patients who have deep brain stimulation, the success for those with Tourette's is not immediate.
Hey, beautiful girl.
Even so, Professor Silburn is confident.
So far, so good. It's all going in the right direction, all right? The mission is on target.
Do you see a day when Bianca can live at home again?
That would be a huge win, actually. To see, that'd be good, see that girl back at home.
Why does that make you emotional?
I don't know. Because we can do it and we should do it, I think. No frowning.
It's the next morning and Bianca is feeling a little sore and sorry from the operation, but the tics are already improving.
It's aching, is it?
No, it'll be fine.
But just a week later...
Walking and running and twirling and stuff. I love it.
You love it.
Look at Bianca now. After brain surgery, she's gone from a girl possessed...
Come on, bitch! Fuck!
...to a sweet 16-year-old who can now walk without hitting and talk without swearing.
And his dance is this.
So he thinks he's groovy, but he's not? Is that it?
No, he's groovy. He dances like Elvis. I'm so grateful for this. Like, I can't believe how much I'm grateful for like having this operation, because it's changed my whole entire life, and I'm so proud of myself for doing it.
You should be.
Yeah.
Bianca says she feels 95% better already, and clearly her family does too.
And you feel like a cloud has lifted off you guys.
Yes.
Is that how it feels?
Yes.
Yep.
I just think back to last week, all the tears that we shed, and this week we've done nothing but smile. I think she's like a butterfly coming out of the cocoon.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah.
Neurologist Peter Silburn is also thrilled with Bianca's progress. She still has mild ticking, but he hopes it will disappear within the next month.
Well, our whole team has seen a young girl gone from getting progressively worse with multiple medications, being institutionalised for a couple of years, and now the family unit's back together.
We'll take you out to the water.
But a very polite Bianca Sayers wants the final word, and for all she's been through, she deserves it.
I just want to say to all the other people out there with Tourette's that life may be hard sometimes, but you put your head up and give it a go and just keep following through, because that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully I'll live my life to the fullest.
I bet you will. Well done. Thank you so much, Bianca.
It's okay.
It's one of our oldest dreams to discover the fountain of youth, a mystical potion, the key to eternal life. Sure, that's fantasy. But what about living to the ripe old age of 150 or even 200? The experts say that's not only possible, it's just a matter of time. The scientific race is certainly on to find the drug that will help us live longer and stay healthy. No fuss, no effort. And the startling news is there's a good chance that race has already been won by an Australian who's claiming a stunning breakthrough in the quest to extend the human use-by date. A magic pill that will keep us forever young.
We're going to add some arms to it, okay? So opposite arm.
It's the height of rudeness to divulge a woman's age. But when you look this good, why hide it? Sarah Grant is 58 and in amazing shape. She intends to stay that way with anti-aging workouts from trainer Sky Hunt.
Well, to be honest, I think getting older for all of us is scary. To watch ourselves age. You know, you can be walking along the street and suddenly you catch a glimpse of yourself in the window and you go, who's that old person? When I was going through these last night and I started looking and I thought, oh my God, and I did see the ageing process, you go, I look so young.
As a model, looking good has been Sarah's stock in trade for 40 years.
You've even got a Playboy cover in here.
I know, it's only the cover.
Incredibly, through diet and exercise, her measurements haven't changed since she was 16. But other changes are inevitable.
Are your thoughts dominated by staying young?
Oh, look, I think we go through stages, becoming a bit self-obsessed. But I think you can go mad if you stay there, so you have to get past yourself.
Just accept I'm going to be old, it's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen to us all.
Easier said than done, when youth is the must-have accessory of our times. We live in an age when the most famous 50-year-old in the world, Madonna, looks like this.
So we always talk about ageing at this table, don't we, whenever we're out?
For trainer Sky Hunt and her generation of 30-somethings, being fabulous at 50 is just the beginning.
I think I'd like to live to be about 100. I want to live longer. I want to be there for my friends and family, so...
Tummy muscles in nice and tight.
The goal is to live a lot longer, look a lot younger, and feel good doing it.
How old do you want to live to?
125. I've actually visualised that.
So you're planning to be around for quite a while to come?
I'm here for the long haul. I'm not going anywhere.
But until now, our journey from cradle to grave has been one of inevitable degeneration. As we age, cells decay and eventually stop regenerating, leaving us vulnerable to the diseases that strike in our twilight years, like cancer, heart disease, and diabetes. But imagine if one pill could slow down that process. A daily dose of longevity. Well, imagine no more.
This is real and it's coming whether we like it or not. And as a society, as a world, we're going to have to get ready and deal with it.
Australian scientist Dr. David Sinclair has made an astounding discovery. Head of Harvard Medical School's anti-aging research team, he's developing what could turn out to be a genuine elixir of youth.
Could this be the world's first anti-aging drug to hit the chemist shelves?
That's it, and that's where we're headed with this. And it's in trials, it's working in patients, and it could hit the market pretty soon.
You haven't got a glass of water, have you?
It's tempting, huh?
Very tempting.
Okay, go.
In the backyard at home with his family, David Sinclair may not look like a man who's about to change the world. But if his drug lives up to the early clinical trials, it will be the biggest medical discovery of our time.
What was the moment when you knew you were onto something?
The discovery in my lab and others around the world that there are genes that control the aging process. Who would have thought that it could be so simple? Tweak one little gene and organisms live twice as long.
But the challenge was to find the trigger that would switch on that one little gene, the longevity gene. David discovered a magic molecule that did just that, resveratrol, found naturally in the skin of red grapes. He fed it to his lab mice for 3 years and hoped.
And guess what? It worked. They were resistant to diseases, diabetes, cataracts, heart disease, osteoporosis, all that slowed down, and they lived 20% longer. And they could even run further on a treadmill. They were as though they'd been exercising, not just dieting.
Marathon mice.
Marathon mice. This was an added bonus that I hadn't even expected. So this was even beyond my dreams.
Now the dream is to achieve the same spectacular results in humans, with initial tests predicting at least an extra 10 years of healthy life. Not surprisingly, the world's pharmaceutical giants have beaten a path to David's door. He sold his company for $750 million, and the drug is expected to be on the shelves within 5 years.
This is one of the holy grails of the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, there's enormous payoff at the end, isn't there? I mean, we're all getting old.
Well, it's been estimated by economists that this drug could be worth upwards of $40 billion US a year, just in this country, the US.
That's the pathology.
There's always been big money in fighting Father Time. Businesses like Alan Jovich's Life Extension Clinic on the Gold Coast market youth with the popular but controversial hormone replacement therapy.
When we're young, all our hormone levels are right up there at the peak, and the kids are running around and having fun. As you age, your hormone levels are going to drop down, and this to us causes the aging. So I say, if you want to maintain a good level of living, you've got to keep those hormones up.
Alan, who's 64, and his wife Pauline, a very youthful 58, practice what they preach, downing a daily cocktail of supplements, hormones and vitamins at a cost of $16,000 a year.
You both take one of these each every single day.
Every day. I know it seems a lot. People say I must rattle.
It is a lot.
But some of those supplements, like human growth hormone and testosterone, have been linked to an increased risk in cancer.
You both think it's a risk worth taking?
I don't think it's a risk.
It's stimulating the hormones that are already in your body, and it just gives them a little boost.
You know, since I've been on it, people get old, but I feel fantastic. I really do, and I'm really proud of myself.
You'll be playing golf till you're at least 85, you reckon?
Absolutely. And don't forget, there may be a little bit of sex on the side as well. My wife.
You got anything to say about this, Paula?
What can I say?
Probably wise to say nothing.
Exactly. Well done.
But there are no pills and potions here. Okinawa, in the South China Sea, is known as the land of immortals. Everyone here lives long, healthy lives, often beyond 100, and it's all natural.
This is the house of Chiyoko Asato. She's 110 years old.
Chiyoko is one of the oldest people in the world, turning 110 just last week.
To live calmly, to have this kind of relaxed attitude is extremely important.
Okinawans, like Chiyoko, have the world's lowest rates of heart disease, cancer and stroke.
So they're living longer with less disability. So they're more functional.
After 2 decades of studying the Okinawans, Canadian anthropologist Professor Craig Wilcox believes their longevity comes down to diet.
What sort of diet do you have?
She doesn't like butter.
So no butter.
And she also said that she loves sweet potatoes. She eats them every day.
But it's not so much what they eat, it's how much. Traditionally, Okinawans eat small meals, consuming 40% less calories than we do.
Well, one of the local customs is called hara hachibu. And what this means is it basically means eating until you're about 80% full.
Hara hachibu.
Right.
So what, you never fill up?
Well, you always leave a little bit of room in your stomach at the end of a meal. You don't stuff yourself.
Whether they knew it or not, for centuries, the Okinawans were practicing what science now calls calorie restriction, the only proven way to extend life.
Yeah, so we need about another 100 grams.
Meredith Averill and Paul McLaughlin are dedicated followers of this long life diet. They weigh every calorie and eat just 2 meals a day, breakfast and lunch.
Do you ever feel hungry though?
Oh yes, well hunger is actually a choice of the CR way. And we prefer to experience a little bit of hunger. Part of the reason is that the hunger hormones are great for our hearts.
Right.
Okay, so there's some barley and some vegetables.
Hunger has the added benefit of switching on that elusive longevity gene that protects us from disease. 62-year-old Meredith and 60-year-old Paul are taking part in the first human trials on calorie restriction to see how many extra years this extreme diet can give them.
How long do you want to live?
I would like to live as long as I feel good. I really hadn't thought of a number, but right now things are going great, so I just hope it continues.
Meredith, what about you? How old for you?
Well, I have to tell you that for some reason, decades ago, I started planning my 125th birthday party.
125?
I guess this is the eternal optimist.
I really admire people who can do calorie restriction. I tried it for about a week and gave up because I enjoy food.
Not everyone can stomach the calorie restriction diet. And that's where David Sinclair's magic little pill comes in.
To long life.
Providing all the benefits of calorie restriction and activating that longevity gene without the hunger pains.
Are you taking it?
Well, the answer is yes. And the reason is that if I'm really going to believe in my research, I want to really use myself as a guinea pig.
How does your wife feel about that?
She's taking it too. So are my parents. So we are believers.
If his pill delivers, David's sure to win a lot more converts.
Of course I'd take it. Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? No one wants to grow older. But if we're going to grow older, then we do want to have quality of life.
I think of what I'm doing as really the early days of flight. I'm the Wright brothers, but there's a long way to go, and I think 150 will be achievable one day.
It does sound like a bit of a dream, doesn't it?
It definitely does, and I have to pinch myself occasionally. It does sound too good to be true, but it's true.
I've just had the most amazing experience, a glimpse of the future. I've seen a living, beating heart built from scratch in a laboratory. It's a major breakthrough, a vital step towards custom-made human body parts for transplants. Now, say you had a serious heart or kidney disease. There'd be no more waiting months, maybe years for a donor. Your doctor would simply order a new organ designed especially for you. Imagine what that would mean to the thousands of Australians now on the list for organ transplants. And as you'll see, this isn't some scientist's crazy dream. It's already happening. This is the new frontier of science. blurring the line between human and animal. Custom-made organs growing inside sheep. An ear growing in a dish. A man-made finger. And perhaps most stunning of all, a heart made in a jar, alive and beating.
A living heart. It looks so nice.
I'm at Minnesota University, coming face to face with the future.
And you built this. So we built this.
Professor Doris Taylor is a heart repair specialist, changing transplant medicine forever, creating body parts made to order.
We said, wouldn't it be cool if we could build a heart? There aren't enough to go around. Wouldn't it be nice? And how are we going to do that?
It was a simple but brilliant idea. Professor Taylor literally grew this heart from scratch, using the cells of a rat.
We started with a dead rat heart. We literally used soap, detergent, to wash all the cells out, burst the cells, wash them out, and we ended up with a ghost heart, a scaffold. Then we transplanted new cells back in, and we're teaching it how to be a heart and get stronger and beat harder every day.
And look what happened when they stitched the heart back into a live rat.
Well, how did you react?
I think the exact moment was yes. Literally. It was incredible. It was one of those wow moments in life.
Professor Taylor's breakthrough could revolutionise the entire transplant system. In Australia, we have one of the lowest organ donor rates in the world. And of the 1,800 people waiting for life-saving transplants, at least one will die each week. Hospitals could literally grow complex organs, like much-needed hearts, on demand.
For people who already are living with heart failure, the hope is that we can take cells from their body and build an organ that matches their body. Take a scaffold from either a human cadaver or a pig, transplant those cells, grow it in the lab for 6 weeks, 12 weeks, a few months, and then transplant that.
People like Brooke Seymour can only dream of the possibilities.
The horse is looking through the window.
This young mum from Brisbane contracted a fatal condition called cardiomyopathy, probably while pregnant with her son Manny.
They told me that my heart will not continue working as hard as it is for much longer.
And what was the bottom line?
That I had to have a heart transplant.
And how did you react to that?
Well, obviously I'd had a son who was 18 months old, and I thought, oh, am I going to get to see him get married? So, you know, those type of things crossed my mind.
That you wouldn't see him grow up and that you wouldn't be his mum.
That's right. Is Grandad feeding the sheep some milk?
Brooke needs a new heart within 2 years. If she could grow her own, it would mean an end to the terrible daily vigil of waiting for a donor organ.
We try to live a normal life as possible, but we also make sure our phone's close at hand.
And are there particular times of day when the phone rings that you think, yeah, well, your heart goes to your throat?
Well, you know, if you receive a call late at night, you think, oh, you know, is this the call? And, you know, my heart races. I always actually get a bit panicky about that.
Wouldn't it be good one day to have a bank of hearts just ready to go?
Oh, that would be wonderful. I guess that would be a dream come true for me.
Back in Professor Taylor's Minnesota lab, her team is already looking beyond that dream. As well as the heart, they've also grown a liver and plan to produce a whole raft of other organs.
There are far more kidney transplants than there are heart transplants every year. Liver, lung, cystic fibrosis, pancreas. If we could cure a kid with diabetes, that'd be fabulous.
And so that would be the same technique. Take the organ, you clean it out, you apply stem cells, and it functions.
Bottom line is, if it gets a blood supply, we can build it.
My classroom is actually pretty close to where everything is.
This young woman is living proof that it can be done.
I love this campus.
Uni student Caitlin McNamara suffers spina bifida and rarely left home before doctors grew her a new bladder.
Before you had the operation, what was it like?
It was like, I'm saying it's like a nightmare because I just didn't feel like, I never hung out with my friends, like I wouldn't leave the house.
Caitlin's bladder never fully developed, so doctors created a mould, added Caitlin's own cells and grew a new one. It may not be as complex as a heart or a liver, but it's an extraordinary achievement nonetheless.
Is life better now?
Life is a lot better now.
So now you can have a regular teenage life.
Yes.
That's a wonderful thing, hey?
I look forward to walking out of my house and saying, I don't have to come back for a while.
That remarkable success has spawned a whole range of cutting-edge advances, each one more stunning than the last.
This is an ear.
It's an ear, exactly. And basically, what you're seeing is she's actually coating this over and over with cells.
Dr. Anthony Atala, who spent 20 years developing the bladder, is now attempting even more intricate body parts in his North Carolina lab. But the basic principle's the same. Human stem cells grown on a polymer mould.
Which is a fancy word for just a scaffold, if you will, a mold.
Yeah.
And the concept is that once you coat it with the cells, the mold will go away and the tissue will take over.
So we came back in 2 months, you'd have an ear.
Correct.
And are you good at fingers? Or are you better at ears?
Well, we're better at ears so far.
Fingers are harder?
Fingers are much harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is another way to grow organs, and that's to have animals grow them for you. Now, these sheep look like normal sheep, behave like sheep, sound like sheep, but they're not normal. In fact, they're partly human, 15% human. And this is where our story gets a little terrifying. On this experimental farm at the University of Nevada, Professor Esmail Zanjani is showing us his science of the lambs. The surgeon here is feeling for an 8-week-old fetus inside its mother's womb.
That's alive. That's the baby lamb inside the sheep.
That's the uterus, yes.
The unborn lamb is then injected with human stem cells.
It's human into sheep.
That's correct.
And sewn back inside the mother. And get this, when that lamb is born in 3 months, it will be literally part human.
They're still sheep?
There is still sheep, but they contain human elements within them.
The lamb will have the body of a sheep, but human cells in its organs, and those human parts will precisely match the person who provided the cells. The hope is, if these organs are transplanted back into the human patient, they'll be compatible. So you could put the sheep liver into the human.
That's
the sheep
correct.
part of it is attacked and killed off
That's correct.
by the host's body, the human's body.
As soon as possible.
And you're left with essentially a human organ.
That's correct. It is possible to think of a farm that has a number of animals that are readily available for transplant purposes.
Imagine that, your own flock of sheep carrying your organs in case you need a transplant. Sound like science fiction? Well, here's the scary part. If the human and animal DNA were somehow to mix in the sheep, highly unlikely but still possible, Dr. Zanjani will have created a monster, a strange new hybrid creature. What would you do with a mutant sheep? Would you kill it or start a college fund for it?
You would have to sacrifice them.
Could you just slaughter a sheep, though, that was partly human?
Yes, I think we could, because the way...
It's a tough one, isn't it?
I'm not sure it's a tough one, but I can't quite get my head around it right now. I don't know. This is something that society has to start thinking about. I don't know.
The trouble is, a lot of this speculative science fiction type, biotech innovation is just that. It's a science fiction. Look,
Dr. Patrick Dixon is a former physician who lectures in biological trends.
And quite frankly, taking human cells and injecting them into the fetus of a sheep in order to create a hybrid organ is already looks to me not only tacky and yuck, but so last century I can't believe that anyone would want to waste medical research money doing such a crazy thing.
What's the Frankenstein scenario with what's going on here?
We're in very strange territory here because, of course, I'm asking myself, what happens when it's a 1 in 1,000 mix? What happens when it's a 1 in 100 mix? Or, as we've seen here, what happens when it's a 15% mix? What happens when it's a 51% mix? I mean, what point do you decide that this animal is actually eligible for human rights?
Your opponents call it Frankenstein science. Is it?
No. The sheep, the animal that contains these organs and cells, remains as completely sheep. It does not think like a human, sense the human feelings, cannot talk. It just remains sheep all the time and just speaks the sheep language, which is ba-ba.
Science fiction or not, the fact is, none of this is far off fantasy. It's happening sooner than you think. For transplant patients everywhere, the brave new world can't come fast enough.
I think we're years away and not decades away. It's not unreasonable to imagine that within the next 4 to 5 years we'll have some organ we can transplant.
So this is a revolution.
You know, you hate to say that about your own work, but we're certainly excited. And we think it's a door. We think we've opened a door in the field of transplantation.
Every now and then you see something that really takes your breath away, a kind of miracle, and this is one of them. Just try to imagine a computer that can read your mind. It's not some wild fantasy. I've tested it, and to my astonishment, it works. The computer knew exactly what I was thinking. But that's just the beginning. This new technology can mean a whole new life for those suffering from locked-in syndrome, people trapped in their own bodies who can't move or say a word. I've seen them actually write emails, send texts, and even speak using nothing but their thoughts. Take a listen to this. What you're hearing is the human brain talking.
That crackling is the sound of the neuron popping.
Brain waves communicating with a computer, telling it what to do next.
Basically, we connect the brain to the computer, and you can operate a computer only using your thoughts.
It's 21st century mind reading, medical science that's giving a voice to those who cannot speak.
I can work independently.
Open. And even movement to lifeless limbs.
Open.
As I was about to discover, in this new age of neurotechnology, almost anything is possible.
That is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah. Hello, Joshua.
For people like Marie-Therese Khan, this new science could change their world.
That's your little brother.
At 35, Marie-Therese had just given birth to her third son. Only months later, she suffered a massive stroke. Even though her intelligence and memory remain, she can only communicate through blinking.
1, 2, H, children. 1,
Every
2,
word
3,
must be painstakingly spelled out, letter by letter.
I, 1,
Marie-Therese, can you describe what it's like to be locked in?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, T, V, 1, 2, 3, A, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, R, very, 1, B, C, D, F, V, W, X, Y. Annoying. She says it's frustrating and sometimes annoying.
That's an understatement. Marie-Therese' eldest son, Luke, was 6 when his mum suffered her stroke. Luke, I think you've said that you've tried to understand what it must be like for your mum.
A lot of times before I go to sleep, I think this is what Mum goes through, and she doesn't get up, and you do kind of imagine yourself in that position, and would you smile? Well, she smiles and laughs more than I do.
What would it mean to your life to be given back your voice?
A, E, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, T, V, W, Y, everything. That's it. Yeah. Easy, everything.
But there is some good news. Hope for Marie-Therese and the thousands of people like her. A chance of restoring her independence, releasing her from her locked-in state. Here in America, half a world away from Dubbo, scientists are making some extraordinary discoveries. They've developed technology that allows computers to read minds. And for those who've had to live in silence, this technology is proving to be simply astounding. People like Scott Mackler.
This is how Scott starts his day.
Yes.
Though completely immobilised and unable to speak, Scott has gained the ability to communicate through thought. Not only that, incredibly, he's resumed his job as a neuroscientist at Pennsylvania University. How has the ability to communicate independently changed your life?
I am independently organizing my research. If I couldn't work, how could I survive? We are in the enviable position of loving our jobs.
It's called BCI, Brain-Computer Interface Technology. In short, a cap that records brain signals. Scott can spell out words just by thinking of them.
I can work independently.
The computer gives them a voice.
It gave him his independence back. He was getting so frustrated. So him having his independence back, especially for his work, it made him happy again.
So what drives you, Scott?
My family and work.
In that order? Yes.
Good answer. Scott was once a fitness fanatic who loved running marathons. A family man, married to Lynn with 2 sons.
Here we are. Here I am with my beautiful wife on Mother's Day.
9 years ago, Scott was struck down by Lou Gehrig's disease, a devastating illness that attacks the central nervous system.
And I love you very much, and I'll see you.
Within months, Scott was totally locked in, his sharp mind trapped inside a paralysed body.
So you're excited about this next couple of days?
Unable to speak until this remarkable technology came along.
Do you know where we're going?
Beautiful. It's just to keep the on.
Mm-hmm.
You're being very helpful, thank you.
Been to the hairdressers many times.
It seems miraculous. So how does it work? And will it work for me?
I'm going to slide this just a little bit forward.
I'm going to find out if a computer can read my mind.
If it helps, I didn't particularly feel that bit.
Oh, that's good.
So, well,
tiny sensors inside the cap I'm wearing will hopefully enable the computer to recognise my thoughts.
So that's a flash, flash, flash.
I intend to spell out a word that only I know.
Always with different letters.
The word miracle.
It's the B.
I'm nervous for the computer.
Letters flash up on the screen. I concentrate on the letter I want. The computer is supposed to read the electrical signals coming from my brain, telling it which letter I'm choosing. And amazingly, it does. Fabulous. That's something, isn't it? That is a miracle.
Yeah.
It's really, my heart starts beating when it's, it's coming up and it's like, yes, yes, yes. That's incredible.
One of the big issues is that it can restore a measure of independence.
The 8-channel cast of the Lehman connectors.
Yeah, right.
Professor John Walpower has been developing this mind-reading technology for nearly 20 years. Do you recall the first time you saw your technology working for someone?
It was neat getting the first email from our patient in Philadelphia to say, boy, he really wrote this, he did this, he wrote this, it actually worked. We finally helped somebody, after all this work. So, yeah, that was neat.
That patient was Scott Mackler, who 5 years on has embraced his new world of communication.
There it is. Very good. Will you email us the link? I can do that.
BCI technology offers so much hope, but what more would you like it to offer to people who are locked in?
The ability to control a mouse and move prosthetic limbs.
So there's a lot of trial and error, a lot of engineering development.
And that's already happening. In Pittsburgh, Professor Andy Schwartz has implanted microchips into the brains of monkeys to interpret their brain signals. Using that information, a computer makes a robotic arm do what the monkey wants.
In this case, we hold a marshmallow out. The monkey directs this robot arm, closes the gripper on the marshmallow, and brings it to its face so that it can eat.
And you're basically making it happen by thinking about it.
Right.
Next, I'm going to paint a circle.
In Providence, Rhode Island, scientists are taking it one step further, placing the implants into human brains.
That's the best circle I can do.
Professor John Donoghue has developed what's called BrainGate. A sensor smaller than a contact lens is placed on the part of the brain that is responsible for movement.
It is decoding the language of the brain.
And that's exactly what we call it, decoding the brain.
The sensor records electrical signals from the brain, and a computer puts them into action. And soon the whole system will become a whole lot smaller.
Here's a prototype of a device that's being developed where it has the same kind of tiny sensor that's in the brain, and then the signals are fed up to this little wafer of electronics that goes under the skin.
It's not unlike a cochlear implant.
It's very much like a cochlear implant.
Next, I'm going to turn on my television. While television is on, I'm going
Already, BrainGate has enabled users to control a computer mouse.
Can you make it go forward? Do it
Move
without
a
even seeing the
wheelchair.
screen at all.
I'm going to close the hand.
And even a robotic hand. Again, just by thinking about it.
Not bad, man. Not bad at all.
I think the next step, and something we're actually working on, is to recreate a physical nervous system, a bridge from the brain back to the body.
That is such a paparazzi camera.
For Marie-Therese Khan, such technology could finally reopen her world.
What the release of this CD means to Mum and our family, words will never be able to describe.
Not that being locked in for 14 years has held her back. Tonight she's releasing a CD of music based on her poetry, all of which she's had to communicate through blinking.
Spare my children's pain and let me live well once again.
I don't think I'd have the understanding of some of life's more perplexing matters than I do having been around someone like Mum.
Because that's one of the first things people think, that if I was like that, life wouldn't be worth living.
Yeah, absolutely. She's gone completely against that. She's made life worth living more than anyone I can think of. 4, 5, T, H, thank you.
When this latest incredible technology is fully developed, you can only imagine what else Marie-Therese could achieve.
The fantasy is that one day you're playing basketball and the person with you said, oh, 2 years ago I had a terrible car crash, I had a spinal cord injury, but now I'm fine. Now I'm able to play basketball.
Do you want to know the future? How long you're going to live? How and even when you'll die? For many of us, me included, that's a pretty scary thought, but it can be done. That's right, there's a simple do-it-yourself DNA test that can tell if you're likely to suffer from cancer, a heart attack, or even Alzheimer's disease. A glimpse of the killer within, knowledge that could help save your life. And now, more and more Australians are taking the test to ease the uncertainty, to get a hint of what's in store. Among them, surfer Lane Beachley, TV handyman Scott Cam, and, reluctantly, me. She's the queen of the waves. World surfing champion Lane Beachley has always been ready to take on any challenge. A gutsy competitor who'll ride every monster wave the ocean can throw at her. But now she faces a new test of her courage.
Have you done this yet?
No, not yet. Okay, so you just swab the inside 8 times. Today, Lane Beachley is about to dive head first into the unknown.
So it's a pretty simple test, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
It's really non-intrusive.
She's bravely handing over her DNA for a test that will give her a glimpse into her future.
Now, Liz, you know, with these results, if they're good, we party, and if they're bad, we party.
That's right.
All right?
Television's favourite builder, Scott Cam, is taking the test too. And so am I. Okay, it's last opportunity.
No, I'm keen. I really am keen to do this. And if it's real bad, we'll just get a second opinion.
That's exactly
Don't we?
right. I'm absolutely with you on that. We're all about to be genetically tested, the latest science that will tell us where we come from and what we might die from.
Genetic testing is a new and very powerful tool that's only come on the scene in the past 2 or 3 years.
Professor Bob Williamson is a world-renowned geneticist who believes everyone should have the right to know their genetic destiny.
This new knowledge, it's a genie that's out of the box. You can't bring it back in, and we have to find a way of making sure that the community has enough knowledge to make good use of this fantastic genetic potential.
Through genetic testing, we can now predict our chances of getting cancer, heart disease, even Alzheimer's. A whole range of deadly illnesses with just a quick swab of the cheek.
Until a couple of years ago, we could only look at genes one at a time. The technology has changed. It's changed in that we can now look at 100,000 genes at once, and it's changed because it's much, much cheaper. You can do the test for $200, $300, $400. It's really quite remarkable how rapidly this has advanced.
I'm Shelley. We're from Domestic Blitz. Of course, you know Scotty Cam.
In his role as resident builder on Domestic Blitz, Scott Cam has spent the last few years helping change the lives of people who've done it tough.
What about the potential here? Do you want to hear my vision?
Yes.
The V8 members bar.
By doing this genetic test, he's hoping to discover whether he's escaped his own family's heartbreak.
You get all this gear out, I'll get the truck round to the car park.
Well, Liz, we've had a fairly tragic medical history in our family because my father died a very young man of cancer, 54, and my mother has had 2 bouts of cancer and survived. She's also had some heart issues as well with a bypass tossed into the middle of there. I always say Mum's like a 12-gauge shotgun woman. That's what's going to take to stop her. She keeps going on.
She's pretty tough in spite of all that.
She's tough. So, you know, I hope it's not hereditary, because if it is, I'm a lady, you know, like I'm 5 to 1 on.
So you're looking for a bit of a heads up?
Well, I suppose so, yeah. A bit of a heads up. And I don't want to be told, Liz, I don't want you to come and tell me that on the 25th of October 2020, I'm gone. Right? I don't want that.
Lane Beachley was adopted at an early age and has only recently met her biological mother.
started playing tennis and decided to turn to surfing.
But she knows little about her father.
From my mother's side, I'm aware of glaucoma, so eye problems, but nothing more serious than that I'm aware of. But from my dad's side, it's a complete mystery.
Because for you, it's more than finding out about what you might get in the future. It's about finding out something you don't know.
You know, one of the things that I always questioned when I was adopted is, what am I in for? Medically, what am I in for? You know, what am I going to face in future years? And as you creep closer to 40, you know, you've got to be a lot more aware of your medical history and things that could affect you health-wise.
Genetic testing is now available to anyone who wants it. I've just ordered this kit over the internet. For $300 or $400, you can have your DNA tested by one of a number of companies from around the world. Frankly, I'd rather not be doing this. Do I want to know what nasties lie within? Not really. Do I have a choice? Not really, given I've asked others to. So, here goes.
Send this to the doc. Off to the... Where does this go?
This is going off to Iceland.
Iceland?
That's where they do it.
Really? Oh, wow. Well, off to Iceland. No wonder it takes 4 weeks.
Iceland has become a world leader in genetic research, its isolation making it one of the purest gene pools in the world. With its headquarters in Reykjavik, Decode Genetics has led the way in offering home testing kits, which can predict your risk of developing up to 36 different medical conditions.
Do you look at yourself differently in the mirror? Now that you have this kind of genetic information?
You know, the older I get, the less tendency I have to look at myself in the mirror. So.
Is that a mutation you've got, or?
No, it's just old age, my dear.
Kari Stephenson is Decode's founder and chief scientist.
What are we truly learning, though, when we submit our DNA for scanning?
You can learn about your risk, what your genetic risk of diseases like breast cancer, early onset heart attack, type 2 diabetes, etc. is. And if that is something that you would like to learn about yourself, I think it is good that you can get it.
How accurate is it, though?
It is very, very accurate. It's extraordinarily accurate.
We truly are embarking on a journey of discovery, science which will allow medicine to beat disease before it strikes.
There are about 7,000 or 8,000 genetic disorders that are due to mistakes in just one gene. And in every one of those cases, we can actually now use the gene sequence, the sequence of the human genome, in order to test and see whether someone is likely to get a disease or not.
And it's not just diseases. Apparently, there are genes that dictate what we do and why we do it.
We can be up there and be flying around the clouds, barrel rolling, playing with the birds.
There's a risk gene. Wingsuit flyers Glenn Singleman and Heather Swan both have it.
We've got the so-called thrill gene, the D4DR gene on chromosome 11. And if you've got 11 copies of the gene, you're a high sensation seeker, you're an explorer, a thrill seeker, a person who likes to push the boundaries. And that's more or less a genetic imperative.
And there's even a sports gene, which dictates whether you're better suited to speed or endurance. And this genetic shopping list is growing every day.
We actually, the other day, we found a sequence variant in the sequence of the human genome that has significant impact on whether or not you like to solve crossword puzzles. So,
are you serious? You are?
Yes, I'm dead serious.
Yeah.
For our volunteers, though, it's not the crossword puzzle or sporting genes they're worried about.
Hit me with it, Bob. What have I got?
Okay.
Their results are in, and Professor Williamson is about to deliver the news.
So they tell you you're at marginally increased risk of, for instance, lung cancer. But if you're not a smoker, You're at very low risk of lung cancer anyway if you're not a smoker and you haven't been exposed to asbestos. Having said that, there's one piece of information here which is interesting, and it's so interesting that I went back right into the DNA sequence to work out what was going on. And that is you're at slightly increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, roughly double the risk of Alzheimer's disease.
Double?
Double the risk, the population risk of Alzheimer's disease. And that's because you've got a variant of one particular gene. Now, with a result like this, you might think of doing crosswords. You might think of going out for a run, because it's been shown that people who exercise their brain are more likely to delay the onset of Alzheimer's disease, even if they're in an at-risk group.
For Scott Cam, this wasn't the news he'd expected, nor Lane Beachley.
Well, Lane, looking at the list here, you do have this somewhat increased risk of Alzheimer's disease, about double the population average, and it's actually a bit more significant even than that because that's a risk in your 70s.
So the higher the number, the earlier
higher the number, the higher the risk.
Of course, but does that mean the earlier the onset as well?
Not in most cases, but in this case it does.
So I've got a great excuse for forgetting people's names and
You've
things
got a
like
good
that.
excuse.
Okay, good.
Definitely.
All right.
When it comes to breast cancer, you're pretty much on the average risk, a little bit lower, bit of good news there.
That's good.
Heart attack, a little bit above the average risk, bad news there. But to be honest, those are really very, very much in the normal range.
And then there's me. Okay, give me the news. Is it good or is it not so good?
You've actually got a very nice set of genetic figures here. You have a marginally elevated risk of breast cancer, but that's not one of these genes that causes a very high risk. It just means it's something that you'll need to think about. And very low risk of developing a number of eye diseases, so it looks like your vision's going to be okay.
Oh, all of that is good news. I think there is value in this, is there not?
Provided you're the sort of person who can take these things and live with them and realize that they're not determining what illness you'll get. They're just a hint, unless you come up with one of those cancer genes or heart disease genes that really is important. For those 3 people in 100, 4 people in 100, this could be very important. It could be life-saving.
We didn't ruin your day, did we?
No, all good news, Liz, I reckon. Apart from the Alzheimer's. I'm glad Bob didn't say you got an 80% chance of getting cancer. I'm really glad that didn't happen. And same with heart disease. But you know, I've got to watch what I eat and do, and I've got to lose weight, and then I'll have a lower risk.
Has this been a positive experience or not?
Now that I know that I have a higher incidence of Alzheimer's, I'm going to do everything I can to prevent the onset of it.
You'll change some things or do extra things?
I'll probably do extra things. Yeah, I'll probably start playing Sudoku or learning another language.
Well, that's the one thing I would not want you to do, is to go away and think that you were going to get Alzheimer's.
No, I refuse to take this test home and go, okay, this is what I'm in for. It's still about your health and your environment and maintaining a healthy body and a healthy mind.
It's up to you.
It is up to you.
And that's the lesson. Genes are just one part of the equation, but these tests do give us a hint about what might come our way and an opportunity to change the way we live our lives and maybe even save our lives.
Eat plenty of fish, mate, is that what it is? Omega-3?
Eating plenty of fish is always a good thing to do.
Beautiful.
Good for your health.
So what we've worked out is stay off the smokes, go for a run round the block, do some crosswords, and I can have a drink.
Yeah.
I love your work, Bob.
It's our blessing and our curse. We love the Australian sun, but every year 1,500 people die from skin cancer. Now an incredible breakthrough, a tiny capsule that can stop even advanced melanoma in its tracks. It's called PLX4032, and the results are so swift and dramatic that it's got even the usually conservative medical community excited. Even better, this drug could mark the beginning of a cure for other forms of cancer. Already, it's giving some patients back their lives, and for people like 24-year-old Brendan Robbins, offering hope just in time. In chilly Birmingham in the UK, Brendan Robbins is about as far from the Australian sun as he can get. And that's fine with him because the sun is the reason he's facing death.
I think you're over there.
He's come here on a holiday with his English girlfriend Hannah to steel himself for the battle ahead.
You just assume that, you know, you can live 60, 70 years like most people do. And then you find out when you're 23 that you've got a melanoma across your body. Makes you look at life a lot differently.
Brendan's body is riddled with melanomas, devastating cancerous tumours caused by the sun's rays. It started 12 months ago with a mole on the side of his head. Diagnosed as malignant, it soon spread to his neck and brain.
There's one in my abs, there's one in my back, there's one in my ribs, and then there's one just down in my groin area as well. And they said that it's moving very quickly and it's advanced.
A diagnosis like Brendan's used to be a virtual death sentence. But he and thousands of other melanoma patients now have reason to hope, thanks to an incredible new drug.
What it's done is put your life back on track, and that means you go back to work.
I go to work and I have holidays and eat with the family and renovate the house, and all thanks to a little pill. Yep.
A pretty bloody good pill.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
That 57-year-old Charles Griffin is even alive today is extraordinary, let alone embracing family life again with wife Debbie and his 3 children. 10 months ago, he was bedridden and fighting for his life.
Originally I was doing 14.
But then, a lifeline. He was one of the first in the world to be offered the new drug.
This drug is like a miracle. It's amazing, and it's given us new hope. And I don't think we think short term anymore. I think now we are thinking long term. Yeah. We are now thinking, you know, that there is a real future for us, and that, you know, we will be married for a lot longer than 31 years, which is lovely.
It looks just like any other pill. I pick one up. Yep. That's it.
A capsule like many other.
That's it. And that is the pill of hope, as it's been called.
It's called the PLX4032, and Melbourne cancer specialist Professor Grant MacArthur is part of its worldwide trial. Almost unbelievably, this wonder drug is stopping cancer in its tracks.
In fact, this is really the beginning of a new era in the way that we're treating cancer. Understand what goes wrong in the cancer cell, what genes are changed, and very rationally, in a designer way, turn off the genes that are malfunctioning in a very specific way to hopefully get better outcomes and better survival for people with cancer.
And that's great news when you consider nearly 11,000 Australians are diagnosed with melanoma every year. Of those, 1,500 will die.
Melanoma is a very common cancer in Australia. It's heading towards 1 in 20 Australians now will get a melanoma in their lifetime.
Professor MacArthur deals with the tragedy of melanoma every day.
How are you doing today, Claire?
Hard.
2 years ago, one of his patients, Claire Oliver, used her last days to warn us all about the dangers of tanning.
I know it's so easy to, look at magazines, look at celebrities and look at how beautiful they are, but also look at me. What do you choose? You know? I think I choose life. I choose to be fair.
One damaged cell can start a melanoma growing.
But despite the constant human toll and intensive public campaigns,
there's nothing healthy about a tan.
the number of melanoma deaths have not dropped. Many of them far too young.
In fact, melanoma is the commonest cause of cancer death in people aged between 15 and 40 in Australia.
And that's been consistent. We've not been able to tackle it up to this point, have we?
No, the death rates from melanoma unfortunately have stayed relatively constant.
Are you scared?
I was scared, but I'm not anymore.
Why not?
I don't know, got a very strong mind, very positive.
You don't think you're going to die?
No.
Did you have any idea, Hannah, of just how serious a melanoma could be?
I'd heard of skin cancer, but it's not a big thing in England at all. So I didn't know a lot about it at all. But as soon as he came back from the doctors, I of course went on the computer and I was absolutely horrified to what it actually is, and yeah, I was devastated.
You knew that this was a serious situation.
Yeah.
Get him! Get him! Yeah!
Like so many young Australian men, Brendan loves sport.
Yes, shots!
Hours in the sun, often without protection. Were you aware of the dangers of the sun?
You sort of think that you're invisible sometimes because, you know, nothing's going to happen bad to you. You know, you're that type of guy that thinks, you know, it's never going to happen. But
it happens to someone else? It happened to Charles Griffin when his wife Debbie spotted a suspicious mole.
And it was tiny. It was like someone had drawn a black textured dot on the top of his head, but it was black. And I said to him, I have never seen a melanoma in my life, but this doesn't look good.
His doctor soon confirmed it wasn't good.
We went in and he said, unfortunately, it's a T5, which is the sort of the worst level, and that if I was you, I would get your personal affairs in order. So they were pretty bleak words from my point of view. And then they discovered that it had gone into my lungs and to my liver, and they were inoperable.
Melanomas are caused by the sun's effects on our genes. In 50% of cases, it's the BRAF gene that mutates to form the cancer. And it's in those cases the drug can be used, turning off the mutant gene. Unlike chemotherapy, which attacks both good and bad cells, the new treatment targets only the cancer. Cancer growth is stopped and existing tumours shrink and sometimes even disappear. How dramatic have the results been for some of the patients?
Well, there's been one patient so far on the trial, the tumours have completely disappeared, and 70% have had a major reduction in the size of their tumours. So Liz, this is a result with the drug, the BRAF inhibitor, with a PET scan.
These 3D scans detail the devastating spread of melanomas throughout a patient's body. And this is the same patient just 2 weeks after treatment. The results are truly astonishing. What do we know about the tumours that stay within the body?
We've done some biopsies after treatment with the drug showing there's been a lot of death of the melanoma cells inside the tumours.
So they may stay there, but they may be dead, benign tumours.
They may be dead, they may be somewhat dormant, but they're under control. Now, I've got some good news. I'd like to show you your CT scans.
Charles Griffin has been on the drug since last Christmas. His tumours have shrunk dramatically.
So here's the CT scan of your chest, and you can see here, you can barely see one of those lumps in the lung, which has reduced substantially in size, and which is, you know, I'm very, very happy with that response.
Yep.
And importantly, Charles, no new ones, which is also extremely important.
When you were obviously all out of options, how did you feel when this glimmer of hope came up?
I've had people say to me, how does it feel to be a guinea pig? I just saw it as a fantastic opportunity. Lucky me to be able to tap into this huge resource, and if I can provide them with the means of testing something, then good and well.
Happy guinea pig.
Yeah, why not? Give it a go.
Charles takes 8 of the trial drugs every day. He's back at work, and the future looks bright. What he is living with now should be survivable for some time?
I certainly hope so. He's got a great quality of life. He's able to work, he's able to go on holidays, he's able to live his life like you and I live.
The signs are good, but scientists are wary of giving patients false hope. 2 more crucial trials are needed before they can officially prove its effectiveness. But if successful, it may open the door to medicine's holy grail, a true cure for cancer. I understand your caution, but if this drug is working for melanomas, then there must be hope that it will work for other cancers.
The next trials after melanoma are being conducted in colorectal cancer, but in fact 6 to 7% of all cancers have mutations in the BRAF gene. So this could have implications for other cancers as well, but clearly trials need to be done.
If all the boxes can be ticked, how long would you expect it to take for this drug to be routine treatment?
One would hope within 2 to 3 years.
You can't tell me you haven't got home to your wife and whispered, I think we've got a breakthrough.
I have expressed a degree of excitement at home with my wife and family about this treatment.
Charles.
Brendan, how are you?
How's things?
Good, thank you.
Back home in Melbourne, Brendan is a possible candidate for the second round of melanoma trials. For him, success stories like Charles are just the inspiration he needs. Time is not on Brendan's side. The trials may be his best hope. But while he waits, this 4-year-old is
The sun's not out. Doesn't mean that, you still can't get burnt. You should be wearing a hat.
I know. I should be wearing a hat. No,
or
you're right.
beanie, because...
Do you dare to dream?
I try to dream, of living longer, having kids, having a family, getting married, and, things change very quickly when you go to melanoma.
You're in the fight of your life.
Yeah.
How important is it to have Hannah with you?
It's great. It's absolutely great. And, I couldn't, it's tough. It's tough. It's tough on her and, it's tough on everyone else, so, especially the family, so.
There's hope though, Hannah.
There is. There definitely is. And together, together we can beat it.
Would you risk your child's life for the hope of a better future? 6-year-old Sasha Sarbet suffers from severe epilepsy. The seizures are unpredictable and every one of them is damaging her young brain. Her mum is offered a possible cure, but it's straight out of a science fiction novel. Doctors want to remove half of Sasha's brain. There are no guarantees the surgery will work or that Sasha will survive the operation. What you're about to witness is a journey inside the human brain. And it's not just a medical miracle, it's also a story of incredible courage. This is the most delicate of medical procedures. The surgeons here are removing one side of this little girl's brain to treat her severe epilepsy.
Okay, we're going to come all.
It's a rare, last resort operation on an organ we still know so little about. It's almost impossible to fathom how difficult a decision this is, to remove half your precious child's brain. Almost as difficult as it is to believe that anyone could function after such a radical operation. But this procedure is all about providing a life as close to normal as possible.
It's just insane that this is her life, that she has been through so much.
I see
There's no way that I could have gone through what she's gone through and be as cheerful and joyful and, active as she is.
I am way out of the sky!
You're all the way to the sky.
In many ways, Sasha Sarbert is like any normal 6-year-old girl, outgoing and playful.
Hi, Joy!
But in reality, she's not. At just 15 months of age, her single mum, Shana, was told her baby would require a simple and routine operation to remove water from the brain. It changed their lives forever.
Something went wrong during that procedure, and she started having seizures in the hospital shortly following that.
So she went into this operation as a child with absolutely no sign of epilepsy.
Correct.
And she came out of the operation with seizures.
Correct.
How do you describe that sense of anger you must feel?
I don't even think anger is the right term.
It doesn't cut it?
No. Not at all. I'm so much more than angry. I mean, they completely desecrated the life of my child.
The seizures hit Sasha every month, always with an emergency dash to hospital. They last on average 3 hours, all the while ravaging her brain. For her mum, the episodes are heartbreaking, and because the medication doesn't work for her daughter, impossible to control. What is it that you're most worried about?
Well, the thing I'm most worried about is that one of these days, one of these seizures could kill her. And that's really hard.
Of course it is, poor thing.
But,
You're getting happy snap of mum.
Yeah, so happy.
Imagine, if you will, you feel a little funny, can't really describe it. Next thing you know, you're kind of coming out of a fog. Visually, the room's kind of spinning around and you don't know what's going on, and then it starts to get some clarity. That's a seizure. Your brain just got hijacked. So the operation we'll do tomorrow is we'll take out a central wedge of tissue. So I'm going to come
Dr. Gary Mathan is a paediatric neurosurgeon at the UCLA Medical Center in Los Angeles. His scans show the damage the epilepsy has already done to Sasha's brain.
The areas of red is where the brain's working normally, and the area of blue or dark color is where the brain is not working normally. Most of the right hemisphere is not. You're ending the nightmare.
Yeah, it is a nightmare. I mean, I don't sleep. I have her on a video monitor. I don't sleep.
Dr. Mathan believes Sasha's only chance at life, a normal life, is a hemispherectomy, a procedure that he's performed on nearly 200 children. He removes the part of the brain that causes the seizures. In Sasha's case, she will lose her entire right hemisphere.
It's hard. It sounds like science fiction to me.
Correct. And this is the reality. It's theoretical until you're sitting in this chair and you're talking to the guy that's going to do it. And it's no longer a theory, it's a reality with a surgical date.
Whoa! Did you get wet? Sasha goes into surgery tomorrow. What makes Shana's decision even more complicated is that while this operation is Sasha's only chance to stop the epilepsy, there is no guarantee it will work. Dr. Mathan won't even know if he's removing the correct side of the brain until after Sasha comes out of surgery.
You've got wet pants, it doesn't matter. Come on!
If you've taken out half the brain and you still have seizures, where are the seizures coming from? The other side.
So you won't know until after the operation?
Correct. When we fail, we have a tendency to fail in a very spectacular fashion. So it's like a switch. You either got it or you don't got it.
And there is no way to know that you've got it.
Unless you do it. So for families, this is Incredibly scary.
He doesn't know if he's taking the right part out.
Right.
Until he operates. And how worrying is that for you?
Are you kidding? Of course. Of course that's a worry. I mean, it's been a process to make this decision, and it's the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. And I think it's just the right decision. I think it's the only thing that we can do at this point.
1, 2, 3.
Did you
3.
Good girl.
I talked to her today, actually, about going into the hospital and going in to see the doctors tomorrow. And she said, are they going to give me a shot? And I said, well, maybe just a little one. And then they're going to give you something to make you not have seizures anymore. And she said, no seizures. And it was wonderful. So I think she understands that.
Okay, we're going to make a left turn here.
There we go.
It's okay.
This will be the longest, most excruciating day for Shana, for she's just put her daughter's life in Dr. Mathen's hands.
Please take care of her.
I got a whole group of people to take care of her. Okay? Got a whole group of people. And they've done it before. And they'll do it again.
In theatre, the focus is all on Sasha. The first step in this 8-hour operation is to expose her brain.
That looks bad.
They only get one chance to get it right, so before they remove anything, they need to confirm with electrodes that the affected area is as bad as they thought.
But that looks ugly. Wow.
It is, and so with incredible precision, they start to remove Sasha's right hemisphere. Downstairs, an anxious Shana gets the update.
Is everything okay? She's doing great. No problems, no complications at all. Everything's going really well.
It's incredible, but by taking away half her brain, doctors are giving Sasha so much more. In young children, the remaining brain takes over the function of the missing half. The right side is linked to creativity, reasoning and emotion. And so for Sasha, the left side will step in and compensate. And what about personality? Are there any changes if you
I don't know where personality is. I've taken out right hemispheres, I've taken out left hemispheres, and the children come back with the same personality afterwards as they were before surgery. I don't know where behavior is. And if they were nasty little buggers before, they'll be nasty little buggers afterwards.
You've described being able to drive as one of your greatest personal successes. Why is that?
I think for me, once getting out of surgery, when the doctors told me that I couldn't do it, it just gave me even more motivation to try.
So you're happy when you're behind the wheel?
Oh, I'm ecstatic when I'm behind the wheel.
23-year-old Christina Sandhouse is a dynamo. Alongside her proud driving career, she's a 10-pin bowling ace.
Could be.
Nice strike.
Recently graduated with honours, got her master's degree and has just landed her first job as a speech pathologist. Not bad for a girl with only half a brain.
Oh.
Do you think of yourself as someone with half a brain?
I try not to. But every once in a while, and this is going to sound funny, but if I move my head too fast, I kind of feel a swishing because you figure the right hemisphere isn't there, but that space is filled with spinal fluid, so it's water. So if I shake my head, then I'll start feeling the waves of the ocean. So then I get a little reality check. Oh yeah, the whole thing's not up there.
Christina was 7 years old when her seizures started as a slight twitch in her ankle. Within months, she was having 100 seizures a day, and her parents, Al and Lynn, were told she faced certain death.
Watching a little girl go from a soccer player to someone in a wheelchair in a matter of months was very painful.
I didn't know how to help her. They took over like a demon. They just took over her whole body. You know, it started with a little shake, and before you know it, she was on the floor, shaking uncontrollably.
Incredibly, it was Christina who told doctors she wanted to have the right half of her brain removed. And 16 years after the surgery, like all kids who go through the procedure, she has limited use of the opposite side of her body, her left arm and leg. Her peripheral vision is also affected, and for a while she found it hard to focus. But she believes she's gained so much more than she's lost.
I'm so happy. Life is good.
So I guess the message is you can have only half a brain and not only function, but you can thrive.
Absolutely. Who would have thought? I guess that's the magic of life. You just don't know. I was granted this awesome second life.
So does the brain still amaze you?
I'm marveled by how much we can use it and our treatments. What hurts is I often will see a person who is in their teens or 20s who's been seizing since they were, let's say, 1 or 2 years old. Now they're in their 20s. They don't have that plasticity, and they're not surgical candidates anymore.
Why aren't they getting into your hands?
There are people out there, physicians and others, who view epilepsy surgery as something of last resort. That has to end.
Back in theatre, and after 8 hours, Sasha's marathon surgery is coming to an end. The prognosis should be good. Sasha is young and there were no complications. But Dr. Mathan won't know if she's seizure-free for another 6 months.
So, the best thing that you want on a day like today is for me to come out and tell you it was another day at the office. And that's what it was, another day at the office. It's over. Okay? It's over. This is the part where you get to hug the surgeon.
Just moments after surgery, Mum and little Sasha are reunited.
I missed you.
But it doesn't take long for Sasha to do what she does best, let the world know what she thinks.
We promised Mom we wouldn't take out her personality. It's still there. All right. Sasha!
What?
Where are you?
Babe, I'm tired.
The first thing that I thought about when they told me that they wanted to do this for her was, what if I lose her?
I'll leave you alone. Come on. All right, that's good. We'll leave you alone.
What Sasha will I be getting back? You know, and every person that I've asked, they all tell me that you're going to be getting a better version of her back. You're going to be getting a better version of her back, and you just have to believe.
Sasha has recovered well from her surgery and will keep you up to date on whether it's been a success in stopping her seizures.
We try not to judge people by their appearance, but like it or not, our face is an important part of our identity. It tells us who we are, and the expressions we make let others know how we feel. So imagine what life must be like for Chrissy Stilts. At the age of 16, her face was literally blown away by a shotgun. She lost her eyes, cheeks, nose, and shattered her upper jaw. All the features we use to recognise ourselves and each other. For 11 years, she has lived behind a mask. But medicine can perform miracles. I was there the day Chrissy got her face back.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Ready, David?
Chrissy Stelz has waited 11 years for this moment.
There you are, sweetheart. We got it.
She is about to experience an extraordinary transformation. A medical makeover that will not only rebuild her face, but will renew her life. A life that was almost blown away.
That's great.
My story's not a tragedy, it's more of a new beginning. There are so many ways that you can have one sad thing happen in your life, but take it and try to turn it into so much more.
In 1999, Chrissy was an independent, carefree 16-year-old. She was living with her boyfriend, enjoying an easy teenager's life. But all that changed one night at a party in their home.
One of my friends in the back room was playing with the shotgun, fiddling with it.
And is that the last you remember?
The last thing that I remember was standing on one of the stairs into the back room where he was and telling him to put down before he killed someone. And his last words were, "It's not loaded."
But the gun was loaded. Chrissy was shot at point-blank range.
This was a gut-wrenching thing to see. A physically beautiful young girl, the rest of her body intact, with the middle part of her face missing. It was something that just brings your heart to your throat. I would agree.
Chrissy suffered catastrophic injuries.
This is compatible with a lethal injury.
Her physician, Dr. Eric Dirks, couldn't believe she had survived.
This to me is a devastating X-ray.
Right.
That gives you a very clear understanding of how serious her injuries are. I mean, that's the eyes are gone, the nose is gone.
There's no nose. There's no density where we would see an eyeball, ethmoids. It's all gone.
It shattered my jaw, damaged some of my teeth, removed a chunk of the center of my face. The comment I was told, it looked like someone took an ice cream scoop, and just that was the damage.
How do you deal with that when you're told the extent of your injuries?
My ears were open to listen. I never, I think I looked at it more as something interesting versus something tragic. At the time, I was more interested in how to fix it. In my hospital bed, I vividly remember, I could do one of two things. I could sit and have a pity party for myself, or I could continue with what I need to do to go on with life. And the pity party wasn't so much my route. I decided that I needed to get things done.
Chrissy's mask covers the shocking cavity where her eyes and nose once were, and she still has scores of lead shotgun pellets in her head.
Fortunately, they all were in areas that were non-life-threatening.
That in itself was a minor miracle, wasn't it?
It was. Also, I think she's here for a purpose.
Do you?
I think she is here to inspire us all.
In your dreams, you still see yourself as you were?
Yeah, actually, in all my dreams, it's really interesting. I still look as though I'm 16. I still am fully sighted. I have dreams that are interesting where I've been in front of a mirror and I just pull the mask off, look at it, and just drop it and walk off. I dream sighted every night, so I think that's what's helped immensely in the dealing with going blind. I'm blind during the day and sighted at night.
Isn't that extraordinary?
It's interesting, really. It's to me the best way to, I guess, deal with it. We're doing peaches.
Chrissy has refused to let her disabilities hold her back.
Okay.
11 years on from the accident, she's finished her schooling, getting straight A's.
And I said that it'll be mostly cloudy today.
And met her partner Jeffrey, who is also blind.
I still have a few things I have to do. I didn't even get to...
Jeffrey, what was it about Chrissy that you liked?
Well, her strength was one of the first things I noticed. Just how strong she is to get through something the way she did.
You never doubted for a minute that the two of you might find this too challenging, given that you're both blind?
She had learned a bit more than I had when we had met, and she actually helped me learn a few things.
So you're a good team?
Yeah.
Turn left.
I say I put my legs wide so you can go between.
Together, Chrissy and Jeffrey live their lives as normally as they can.
Take that first seat?
Yep. They are incredibly independent.
Yes, it comes with bacon, cheese, jam, apricot jam.
With a little help, they enjoy eating out.
Oh yeah, the chicken's right there. I feel it right underneath it.
And 12 months ago, they became parents when their son Jeffrey Jr. was born.
You know, it's okay. Hold on. We got to tie a little bow in it.
Was it a big deal to decide to have a child?
What's interesting, it wasn't a big deal. We had both wanted a baby. Okay, little dude. We waited 6 years into our relationship before we had our son, and I think that was really a great thing.
A little peach?
Nonetheless, you knew the challenges, and I guess some people would have advised against it.
Oh, and I'm sure they're still out there. they're all over the place. And that's it. If anybody has any worries with me and my parenting, I'm more than happy to let them come watch for a day,
Do you see your son? What does he look like to you?
Oh, a little beaming thing of glee. You want to come to Mama? He looks to me just as gorgeous. He loves to let me feel his little face. He's got the longest eyelashes, these huge blue eyes. He's got the cheeks that just smile and poof up as high as they can.
Do you think he's aware of your disability?
I think he is, in a sense, aware. I think he has the wonder as to why his mama is the only one that wears a mask, because he has noticed that nobody else does. I think he has noticed that Mom and Dad do things a little different than everyone else. This is a microscope.
And there are tram tracks. Like most families, they enjoy getting out together. But there's no avoiding the inevitable stares.
You know what? He's enjoying being out.
I don't feel awkward when I go out in public. I just feel like a regular person. If anyone wants to ask a question or, that's fine. But for the most part, I really just feel like a regular plain Jane.
This has been a difficult journey for Chrissy, complicated by her own role in the events that saw her so disfigured.
Do you reflect at all on how this all happened and the role that you played in it?
Yeah, I definitely think about that.
Not long before her accidental shooting, her then boyfriend burgled a shop and stole firearms. Chrissy was in the getaway car. She was shot by one of those stolen guns.
That's why I'm so pro to helping people with my accident, with the fact that I went blind the way I did, the unfortunate circumstances. However, going blind, it may have, as the song goes, 3 steps forward, way too many back. I may have taken several steps back, but in the end, I feel like I'm more advanced now than I was at 16.
Chrissy has never shied away from the fact she's partly responsible for the tragic turn her life took.
Like so many teenagers, they can experiment with the wrong side. That's gone. The good part of her has emerged and hopefully will continue to emerge. And that's why I'm hoping big things will come of her. But she has taken one of the greatest catastrophes or insults that could be delivered to a person, almost taken that in her stride, and has emerged from that perhaps even a stronger person.
With her past now long behind her, Chrissy is about to receive a new face, a prosthesis made of silicone. Prosthodontist Dr. Larry Over and David Trainer, a world leader in facial prosthetics, will spend the next week putting back all the pieces.
It is a multiplicity of skills, isn't it?
It really is. There's definitely art and science and surgery.
So to give back someone like Chrissy her face means what?
Well, it means, it means everything.
It's like getting back somebody you've lost.
Exactly. Very, very good point. Yes, it is. And they've lost her for, 9, 10, 11 years. And now they'll have a whole person, which is what we'd all hope to do for her. That looks fine. Looks super. Okay.
It is an intricate and meticulous process.
Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. It starts with what looks like Play-Doh, plasticine that is used to take a mold of what's left of Chrissy's face.
There you are, sweetheart. We got it.
A wax template is then sculpted, which will later determine the shape of the silicone prosthesis.
Are you confident with all these people playing with your face like this, Chrissy?
Yeah, surprisingly, yes.
Skin tone colours have to be matched to Chrissy's, and then it all goes into the oven. And when it comes out, we get our first glimpse of Chrissy's new face.
Super.
One of the most important parts of the process is the making of her eyes, and they're carefully matched to photographs.
Well, what colour eyes are you going to go for?
I went for just the basic, the blue, like the certificate said.
Because you can pick a few things, can't you?
That's what's funniest with me is I've always been comfortable with myself. I have never wanted to change anything on myself. I've always been very comfortable with who I am and what I am.
Come on, all right. No.
How are you going to do it too?
After 4 days, the moment has come.
Sure fits. There we go. Excellent.
Magnets implanted in Chrissy's face clip the prosthesis into place.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I like your makeup. I like your choice of makeup. That's great.
Okay.
I think you did great. Those look just wonderful, Chrissy.
It's great.
It looks amazing.
I think it's so neat.
Wow. Can't believe it.
You have to really keep your wife next to you now.
For 11 long years, Chrissy's family has only seen her with a mask. Today, they're seeing her almost as she was.
Feels kind of like skin, different though. More.
And it is a new beginning.
It feels like I already feel great.
The shattered face of a 16-year-old has today been transformed into a vision of a confident and courageous woman.
Hi. I took a bad situation, I turned it around, and I am as happy as I really truly could see me being. You know, this is going to be the end of one chapter and the beginning of a whole new one.
We're always hearing about amazing breakthroughs in the medical world. But why should all that cutting-edge whiz-bangery be reserved for two-legged patients? Well, tonight, you're going to meet a very talented and flamboyant vet who's pioneered bionic limbs for animals. He recently made international headlines when he fitted Oscar the cat with a dashing new set of titanium legs. In fact, the procedure has been so successful, it's now being used in human operating theatres.
Oscar, very relaxed boy, aren't you? He's very soppy. He's just takes everything in his stride, doesn't he? Really.
Absolutely. And what a stride it is.
Yeah, I know it is.
Oscar the cat is stepping out in style these days. Kate and Mike Nolan have found themselves the proud owners of a moggy megastar, famous far and wide as the first feline in the world with a pair of bionic feet.
One of the weirdest ones I found on Google was a mention of Oscar in the Himalayan Times.
Really?
Which is just surreal.
He made a Tibetan newspaper.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Oscar the superstar.
Yeah.
I love him. I genuinely do. In my job, you occasionally get emotionally involved with the patients, and you try and stay as detached as you can, but I think every now and then you can't help but care for the life that's behind those eyes.
Oscar owes his life and his shiny new paws to veterinary surgeon Noel Fitzpatrick. He helped develop world-first bionic technology to improve the lives of animal patients like Oscar. But this passionate Irishman's ultimate goal is to see his medical techniques more widely accepted.
Anything is possible as long as we have the imagination to create it and the wherewithal and the will to make it happen. This is the day he came in to see me.
A catnap in a neighbour's field at harvesting time cost Oscar dearly.
The combine harvester has chopped him off here, just underneath his ankle.
Both back feet were gone.
Oscar, come here.
There we go. And at the time, Kate and Mike wondered if it was kinder to put him down. Noel Fitzpatrick offered an alternative that sounded like science fiction: bionic limbs.
We had a lot of conversations about that, did a lot of soul searching, because at the end of the day all we wanted was it to be good for Oscar, because although it might have meant us losing a pet, we weren't prepared to do it if it was not going to give him a quality of life.
You didn't want it to be just an experiment. You wanted
No,
it to be
absolutely not.
good
No.
for Oscar.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
And show me the transverse through that one.
Bionics just means the marriage of mechanics and biology to create functional life. But Noel has advanced the technology with a prosthetic implant called an iTap, which amazingly allows skin and bone to permanently attach and effectively becomes part of the body. In Oscar's case, that meant twice the challenge, putting 2 iTaps into moving bones, something no one had ever attempted, and all the while trying to maintain his feline flexibility.
And I wanted him to walk like a normal cat. And I thought that has to be possible. It's not been done, has to be possible. But in order to do that, I had to take the iTap and make it fit in the ankle bone itself. This thing could explode, like driving a pickaxe into glass.
There's nothing to work with, is there?
It's tiny.
But you got it right twice.
We were lucky.
Oscar may have been a pioneer, but the technology is now being applied to patients like Muppy, whose back leg is being attacked by a cancerous tumour. Hopefully the iTap will make a walk through the clover more comfortable.
And this is the peg that will stick outside onto which Muppy's foot will attach.
The new foot?
The new foot.
How long will it take Muppy's skin to grow over that disc?
About 19 days.
Is that all?
Based on the other dogs that we've done, yeah.
Yep, let's go. Suction on.
With a multi-million-dollar practice, this self-confessed workaholic isn't your average suburban vet. And he likes things done his way. People must come from all over the UK.
Whoa. 2 feet away, dude. There you go. Thanks. So 2 feet from me at all times. Everything.
Right.
I want science and art to merge together. It's not a coincidence that theatre is called theatre. It's a place where we create something from nothing. From broken biology, from the words on the page, we create the theatre.
It's a performance.
It's a performance for the animal, and only for the animal. It's not for you. I'm not giving you a performance. Actually, I could care less what you think.
We stand for life, we stand for progress in medicine, and we stand for moving things ahead in humans and in animals for the betterment of all creatures.
Noel even holds his own day of celebration.
Hi! Yes, it's all fun and games.
He calls
here,
it
isn't it? How are they
Vet
doing?
Fest, and it's his way of saying thank you to his 69 staff, referring vets, friends and family.
That's a magnificent hat.
Sure, I know. I have to be nice. I'm your mother.
You look fantastic.
How are you?
you doing?
Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Shall I put my best foot forward?
Humans without animals would have a very, very, very lonely planet. And every day we destroy species after species. We do on this earth. And I think that man ignores the sentience of animals at his peril. They have feelings, they have needs, they have wants, and my job is to be the guardian of those feelings.
And for the owners, like Mick Mallon, it's saving the life of a loved one they thought they'd lost.
Sit. Sit. Here is all metal.
Really?
Completely metal, yeah. No bone, all metal. That's where the implant is.
Wow.
So that's the bit that's
the $6 million dog.
He is indeed. That's the Bionics. Leave it.
Charlie was less than 18 months old when he developed a cancerous tumour in his leg. The Mallons were advised to amputate, and even then, Charlie would probably only live for another 3 months. Noel Fitzpatrick offered their only hope.
Good boy. He was very honest. He said, your dog's going to die of secondary cancer, but I can save the leg, and we'll see what happens.
All I did was chop out a piece of his arm and put some metal in it.
Noel makes it sound simple.
Nothing wrong with that foot. It's got full strength, yeah.
And maybe it is for someone with his skills and experience.
Charlie, it's outrageous that you've got a stuffed duck.
I took retirement 4 years ago, and I got Rolly 3 years ago. He was part of my retirement package. I thought I'd get myself a dog when I retired.
Dennis Hoy was devastated when he found out his American bulldog, Rolly, had a malignant bone tumour.
Come on. There's a good boy.
But once again, Noel worked his bionic magic.
Come on. Come on.
And in a world-first procedure, gave Rolly a new hip, a new leg, and a new life.
Inside there, he's had a new leg bone put in, a titanium leg bone.
Wow.
And the end, because it's metal on the end of the bone, it can't go into the hip, so he's had a hip replacement, got titanium cup in the hip as well.
Well, that looks fantastic, unless you really got up close and gave it a bit of a rub. You wouldn't know. Look at that.
No.
Hi, mate. How you doing?
Pet owners might love him.
That's how all the men in our
But
life
Noel and his techniques have come in for some criticism. Does it make you angry, Noel, if people think that you're treating your animals like lab rats?
Absolutely, it makes me very upset. Get lost. If you think for 1 second that I would ever, in a million years, do what is wrong for the animal. I look him in the eye, I make the best judgment I can on that situation, and I say, come on, let's have a go at life.
How are they doing?
Not bad, not bad.
It's great to see them together.
Yes, they get on really well.
This is the first time they've met.
First time.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Two bionic dogs together.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Yes, I know.
The results can be spectacular. But back in surgery, there's no room for error. And right now, things are touch and go for Muppy.
It will be so easy to get a spiral fracture in this. The drill is jamming at about 3.3. Great.
Is it normally that tight?
Yeah, it's just not normally this brittle. This is a very brittle bone.
But 2 days later, another success story. Muppy's one happy puppy.
5 weeks before the frame comes off and her foot goes on. In 5 weeks' time, she will have a new foot.
And everything's going okay?
Everything's going great. On you go then.
Oh, go Muppy, you little beauty. The really intriguing part about this is that while the Bionic Vet has implanted an animal version of this into 12 different cats and dogs, so far it's only been used on 2 human amputees. The good news is it's proving a success. So much so that one of them is relying on this to help him, wait for it, climb Mount Kilimanjaro. How's the new leg travelling?
Oh, it's going really well. I couldn't have asked for it to be better.
Mark, climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, that will be a phenomenal effort.
It should be interesting, that's for sure. No sockets, no soreness.
They'll be looking at you going, that bionic bastard.
Yeah, it's not really fair, is it?
Mark was only 19 when he lost his leg above the knee in a motorbike accident. He's had a standard prosthetic leg for the past 17 years. But since having the ITAP surgery, it's like the clock's been turned back.
It just feels like they've given me my leg back. If I'd have had this when I first had my amputation, you know, I would never have really felt disabled in the first place.
It's fantastic to hear you say that.
It is amazing. I mean, I can't say it strongly enough. It's just been amazing.
You can just click it on and off.
Well, I'll show you. An old leg, my old socketed leg, it was held on by sort of suction, and to take it off, I'd have to pull out a valve in the socket, and then.
It's phenomenal.
And then it would take about 10 minutes to reattach it. I mean, that's the leg. There's a little trick, I don't know if you want to see this, but there's a little party piece that I do now to demonstrate the rotational fail-safe operating.
You can really throw your leg over.
Yeah, but it's not really supposed to do that, obviously.
No. As for Oscar, the bionic cat, he's been living at the practice since his accident last October. And when he does go home, there'll be no more frolicking in the field for him.
We've grounded him effectively because the last time we let him out, he came back legless.
There is nothing in this world more important to me than looking in that animal's eyes. That when I look in their eyes and I see life coming back, that's what makes me tick.
It's a terrible irony. Heart disease is Australia's biggest killer, yet we have one of the lowest organ donation rates in the world. The wait for a transplant can be agonisingly long. Often it's fatal, but there's been some remarkable progress in recent times. Doctors can now keep their patients alive for months, even years, by hooking them up to artificial pumps. It's amazing stuff, and that's just the start of it. In the future, these machines will be so small they will actually replace the human heart.
Do they have to put you open and put the heart in it with cords coming out?
Yeah. At 35, Wayne Griffin's heart is failing, and there's no hope it will ever recover. Now he has to explain to his 9-year-old daughter Ebony how he's going to survive without it.
How did they cut it open?
With a saw.
No, but how do you cut it open without killing you?
It's a hard story to tell a kid, because in the coming months, Dad will be kept alive not by a donor heart, but by a machine.
Whose heart is it?
It's not a real heart.
What is it?
It's a special heart that does the same job as your heart, but
So how can you use it?
plugs into me.
Ebony's not the only one coming to terms with all of this. It's a procedure so new to Australia, this is only the second time the heart surgery team here at Sydney St Vincent's Hospital has performed it.
Everything's set to go. Wayne's fast asleep, and we'll go in and open the chest and remove Wayne's heart. Okay, scissors.
Wayne's heart might look to be pumping vigorously, but a congenital condition has weakened it beyond repair. And unceremoniously, unsentimentally, it's removed.
There you go, Paul. Okay.
That most emotive, most powerful, dare we say it, the most romantic of human organs.
So we obviously have to get all the air out of the pump.
Is all but completely replaced by pumps and tubes, valves and bolts.
These here, as you can see, are the drive lines, which go out through Wayne's body.
They look and sound like a small swimming pool filter, but the total artificial heart keeps patients like Wayne alive for those precious months when their old heart has given up and a live transplant is still on the way.
So here's Wayne's new heart.
It's just a pump, and you take out the pump and throw it in a bucket and replace it with 2 plastic ventricles. We're just plumbers, you know, we cut and sew, we put in artificial hearts, and, you know, if our plumbing breaks down like mine did this morning, you don't have any hot water, you're in trouble.
Dr. Jack Copeland is the father of this little lifesaver, ensuring more than 700 patients around the world have made it to the top of heart transplant waiting lists.
Now the pneumatic idea is a pretty easy one. It just,
Yeah. It even sounds like a human heart.
so you could probably keep yourself alive by blowing in the thing or having a little squeeze.
Sounds like the perpetual motion machine to
That's
me.
right, you just don't want to get tired.
But implanting the device is no simple procedure. The left and right ventricles of the damaged heart must be removed and the artificial chambers attached to take their place. They take on the job of pushing and pulling blood throughout the body, all driven by an external pneumatic pump.
It's just down to blood pumping. All it does is pump blood.
In a world where donor hearts are in desperately short supply, it buys time. A lot of people die waiting for transplants.
So it's somewhere between 15 and 25% of people per year that are waiting for transplant actually die while they're on the waiting list. We just don't have the donor hearts available.
These particular ones are called saguaro cactus.
Vanessa Cirillo wouldn't be climbing the steep, barren hills of Arizona today were it not for the 3 vital months she was sustained by the total artificial heart. My understanding is that if you've had a heart transplant, your heart is behind your body in terms of responding to exertion.
Yes, it does. Mine takes a little while for it to get
But
going.
it does kick in. I'm not going to have to carry you back down.
No, I hope not.
Good. Vanessa is a picture of health, a transplant triumph. In 2007, she faced a deadly countdown. A crippling virus was shutting down her heart. A donor was her only hope.
I couldn't sleep at night because I couldn't breathe. I couldn't eat. I was mobile, but I was totally fatigued because all the fluid in my lungs was hard for me to breathe.
So in fact, your life was in danger.
Yes.
The total artificial heart saw her through. The wait for a transplant was no longer a death sentence.
It was a miracle. I mean, that machine is just, and the ideas behind it is just absolute miracle. And I felt instantly better.
Vanessa was dead, essentially, when she came in. She was a young person who was going to die.
What is wonderful is when you can help someone young like Vanessa, more so than someone like myself who's had a reasonable innings.
I wouldn't count you out.
Let's just give us another 100 then.
The perennial problem with medical technology is how to replicate evolution's time-tested designs, especially matching what nature manages in such a tiny space.
As you can hear, it's not the quietest thing, but it's better than the alternative, which is no noise at all.
Wayne's artificial heart is up and running, but he has a long way to go to recovery and a full heart transplant.
Hello, mate. How you going? Good to see you.
But he's feeling the best he has in years.
It's bloody noisy in here, though. Yeah, beggars can't be choosers, can they?
The only catch, his stopgap heart is a little noisy and a bit unwieldy.
At this point, the next stage is a real heart and a normal life. Before, the next stage was death. Nothing to look forward to.
Hi, g'day, how are you?
There's still many a slip ahead.
Hey mate, how are you going?
For surgeon Paul Jantz, the focus now is on getting Wayne a heart transplant.
This one drives the left side of it and this one drives the right side of it.
That means finding a suitable donor, and then hoping that Wayne's body won't reject the new organ.
We're halfway there with Wayne, he's still on a journey.
And it's not just any heart, but one that is tissue type more to his type.
Yeah, we have to match the blood type and the tissue type, and we also have to match the size.
I can remember being taken off the life support system.
As Australia's first pin-up patient of heart transplants, Fiona Coote is a living reminder of those pioneering days when a donor heart had to be found straight away or the patient faced certain death.
And 26 years later, you're looking terrific.
Look, I'm
And
well,
feeling good.
Yeah, well, and very few dramas, so I'm really lucky.
Back then, in 1984, finding a transplant heart for this 14-year-old farm girl was the first problem. But fooling her body into letting it stay would be a lifelong challenge.
It stops the body rejecting the heart, I think.
In other words, this is keeping you going.
Yep. So these are all the anti-rejection ones.
It's quite a cocktail. Even today, every morning, every night, Fiona must take anti-rejection drugs.
Are they expensive?
Some of them are very expensive, but thankfully it's all subsidised.
It's all on national health.
Yes.
As it should be. I don't mind paying for you, by the way.
Well, thank you.
But this tiny device might relegate traditional transplants and their many complications to the medical history books.
So the blood without the oxygen comes to the right side, gets spun around, pumped to the lungs, picks up the oxygen, comes back to the left side of the heart, spun back around and ejected to the rest of the body.
Here at Prince Charles Hospital in Brisbane, researchers are designing a world-first mechanical heart. Small enough and reliable enough to do away forever with donor heart transplants.
Look, it's a brilliant design.
In charge of this grand medical adventure is a native Scot turned patriotic Australian, Dr. John Fraser.
And the really clever piece is the spinning impeller inside, which spins like the front doors of a hotel spins the blood out, spurts it out at around between 2,000 to 3,000 revs per
People
minute.
come in, people go
People
out.
come out, red cells go in, red cells come out. Without oxygen, with oxygen.
How bloody clever are you blokes?
Bloody clever, mate, bloody clever.
Oh, you got a good Australian accent then.
We know we don't need anti-rejection drugs. We know that it's on the shelf. We know we don't have to wait for a donor to come available where you might die whilst waiting for the donor.
Now, it's simple demographics, isn't it? As the Australian population ages, the more heart attacks we're going to have.
The incidence of heart failure is doubling every 10 years, and the number of donors is staying static. So as the problem gets bigger and the donor pool stays the same, there's a huge increasing unmet need.
The next step, John Fraser and his team will later this year implant their mechanical heart into a sheep. And if that works, the next scientific leap will be to trial it in a human being.
They will charge across the skin, there'll be no wires, there'll be no breach in the skin. The patient will be totally wire-free.
So like recharging your mobile phone without using a socket?
Without any wire,
Just in close proximity?
Wire-free, you can go swimming, go surfing.
Does it speak to you when you're running low so you remember to charge it?
It'll speak but only in a Scottish accent. 10.
And yet, for all this amazing science, one can't help but feel some mysteries of the heart remain. Such as why Vanessa, whose donor was an amateur boxer, is now herself a convert to that sport.
Good, come on, hit it hard. Ready?
Even for experts, some matters of the heart defy science.
It's hard to say that that couldn't happen, because when you do transplant a solid organ, you do transplant a huge amount of DNA.
So you do keep your mind open.
Yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical to the max, but you know, it's just possible that crazy theory might be true.
But if you have an artificial heart, anything's possible.
Well, yeah, it is. It's a pretty dramatic and miraculous thing.
A miracle not just for patients like Wayne,
Yeah, it's good.
What's that sound like?
That sounds like a horse running.
but also for those they hold closest to their heart.
Softly.
But you're not going to be sick.
I'm not going to be sick anymore.
Only a little bit or
No.
not?
Not sick anymore. Now we can go and play and swim, have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll be alive.
This story starts out as a tragedy, but it ends in triumph. Just over 4 years ago, Victorian plumber Peter Walsh was struck down with the dreaded pneumococcal bug. The bacteria attacked his body with such savagery, doctors had to amputate his hands and feet just to keep him alive. In an instant, Peter became completely reliant on his friends and family. That is, until an extraordinary microsurgeon decided to give him a helping hand, literally. Now, Peter Walsh has made history as Australia's first hand transplant recipient.
Scalpel, that's the word.
It's just over a month ago. A crowded operating theatre at Melbourne St Vincent's Hospital, and an extraordinary and wonderful surgery is underway.
It looks very favourable. I think we're very happy with the match.
Professor Wayne Morrison and his team are giving 65-year-old Peter Walsh the gift of a new hand and, hopefully, a new start in life.
Now these veins are going to join to the vein up here, further up in the hand.
The intense concentration of the whole team is reflected in the surgeon's eyes.
But that looks good, so we'll continue stitching that tendon up.
Unseen, behind the masks, there's also plenty of smiles. Everyone here knows they're making history.
Well, we're finished. I hope we haven't forgotten anything inside.
G'day, plumber.
Hey, Charlie, how are you?
Hello, how are you? Before he was a patient, Peter Walsh was a plumber, and the nickname Plumber has stuck. Even though from now on, he'll be remembered for something quite different.
It looks like it belongs.
Does.
Yeah, it does. It's a hand.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does a hand feel like?
I know it's there.
I've put sanitizer on my hand. Can I touch it?
Yep.
Despite the heroic surgery, it feels and looks just like any other hand. And a week on from the operation, Plummer and his wife Margaret are coping well.
Yep.
You wake up, what do you think?
Yeah, good. It's all finished. I'm still alive. Nothing's went wrong. And I've got a hand. That's what I come for. I got it.
Do we know anything about where the hand came from?
Nah.
Do you want to?
That wouldn't worry me.
There will be somewhere a family watching your progress very carefully.
Yeah, they will be. They've had a sad time. Well, I'm going to have a good time, aren't I? Yeah.
You're going to have a very good time, mate.
Yeah, yeah.
Rightio, time to get up.
To know just why Plummer Walsh deserves better times, we need to go back to the difficult and dark times he's lived through the last 4.5 years.
There's warning on the front page, isn't it?
Without hands and feet, everything has been a battle for him and for Margaret.
It all started when I was milking cows Sunday morning. I thought I had a virus. I got up past 6. I spewed. Haven't spewed for 40 bloody years.
This country bloke from Cobden in Western Victoria is not one for undue fuss. So when he became ill, Margaret knew it was serious and took him straight to hospital.
He was on life support in intensive care and then didn't know whether he was going to, pull through.
The infection turned out to be the frightening pneumococcal disease, which was causing potentially fatal blood poisoning. Because up till now, you've just been worried about him surviving.
Yes, yeah. So they had to put him in the induced coma. The heart was, trying to beat the infection.
He survived a week in a coma, then awoke to see his hands and feet literally dying in front of him.
I knew I was in trouble 2 or 3 days with the hands because I couldn't move them. Couldn't move my fingers. They were dead. And then just gradually went black.
And you're not bad on all-terrain.
Not too bad.
Sort of 4-wheel drive, aren't you? So, is this one of yours?
Yes, yeah.
Windmills were Plummer's specialty. Plumbing these contraptions out in the Victorian bush was where this uncomplicated bloke was at his happiest.
I can handle the feet all right, it's the hands, you feel useless.
You hate that you're not able to help, don't you?
Yeah. That's the part I miss, is going out to the farmers and do their work and have a good talk, have a beer.
Feeling useful is a simple pleasure that no one should be denied.
G'day, Tommy. Have a look at this man here. This is young Tommy.
And while those closest to Plummer, his kids and grandkids, just wanted him to live, that was never going to be enough.
Do you know what I want to do if I get a hand, Patrick?
What?
And get it working?
What?
I want to toss the coin at the grand final.
Like, it was just amazing that he lived. And at the time we were saying, it doesn't matter that he won't have, the hands. Doesn't matter. Like, we were sort of like, but then the reality set in and I said, but
it does matter.
He just loves to work. He lives to work. That was his life.
You could see him when he first got home, he'd be sitting in his wheelchair and he'd just look at his hands and he'd get upset. He'd be feeling he was just useless.
Because he was obviously a capable, practical kind of bloke, wasn't he?
Yeah, it would have been all right if he just lost a leg or a foot, but losing 2 feet and 2 hands, it's just takes everything away, really, doesn't it? Yeah.
Plummer Walsh's luck finally changed when Melbourne microsurgeon Professor Wayne Morrison heard about his case. What makes Peter Walsh, to your mind, the plumber, as he's known to his mates, a good candidate?
Well, I think Plummer is a good candidate, firstly because of his personality. He's clearly has a personality that's rather dominant and has a bit of a mind of his own.
The biggest risk with these operations comes from the potent drugs necessary to stop rejection. the side effects can be awful.
They include diabetes, cardiac disease, cancer, and ultimately it can be lethal.
So the operation can be successful, it can improve your life, but the drugs might kill you.
Exactly. Now,
so the life improvement needs to be considerable.
It does, and particularly here, because this is what we would call a non-vital organ. Traditionally, transplantation is for organs where if you don't have them, you die.
With the help of specialists like anti-rejection Dr. Karen Dwyer, Wayne Morrison finally decided the benefits did outweigh the risk. And in January this year, 4 years after Plummer's hands were amputated, he was officially on the transplant list.
Oh, yes, sir!
Meanwhile, Plummer tried to get on with his normal life. Once again, he and his team won the local bowling competition. But Plummer's thoughts were a little more distant. It's a bittersweet feeling, hoping for redemption, but knowing that someone has to die for your dream to come true.
Thanks, Blue. That's the worst part of it.
Lending a hand, as it were, except it's going to be a permanent gift.
Yeah, but that's life, isn't it?
Well, it is.
Yeah.
You haven't been eyeing off my right hand, have you?
just
reasonable fit.
Yeah.
Good work.
You bloody be a good bowler, you bloody got long fingers. Yeah.
I know everyone says to you, what do you want to do when you get a new hand?
Pick me nose and scratch me ass.
Pick your nose and scratch your ass?
Yeah, and...
These are two of the most natural things in the world.
Everyone does them.
We're saying goodbye.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Plummer's wait was a relatively brief 2 months. Then came the excited call that a donor had been found. And the easiest decision of all for Plummer, to put his life in the surgeon's hands.
And that's going to join up with the median nerve on this side.
It's complex, but at the same time, straightforward. In simplest terms, the donor hand will be joined to Plummer's right arm just below the wrist. The bones will be connected first, then the blood supply. After that, there are tendons, muscles, nerves and skin which require the finer skills of the microsurgeons.
This wrist is a bit thicker than his, so maybe we do want a bit more skin available.
But first, 2 teams go to work, identifying the structures on Plummer's arm and the donor hand. And then, quite quickly, and without fuss, they come together.
Immediately now we're going to join the bone so we get stability of the skeleton, and then after that we're going to join the artery to get his blood back in the hand, because there's a critical time beyond which this part will die.
And at the 3-hour mark, Professor Morrison is able to display a major development.
You see that's going pink here? And when we press, we can see a circulation, a capillary, what we call capillary return, a flush or a blush.
In other words, with Plummer's blood flowing through it, the donor hand is now his hand. At this stage of the pioneering operation, it's a great relief for everyone.
Yeah, no, that's very good. That's exactly what we're anticipating and hoping for. In terms of viability and life, the anxiety's over for the moment.
While everyone's priority is Plummer's well-being, the donor isn't forgotten.
I'm always amazed and touched by donor families that in their time of sorrow, which is often very unexpected, that they can draw on those resources and you know, be so generous in giving giving donor organs to change somebody else's life.
While Plummer's operation is the first hand transplant in Australia, around the world, surgeons have been doing them for over a decade. In fact, we were at the world's first hand transplant in France in 1998.
The patient has had his bones joined, he has a new hand, he has a blood flow in from 2 good arteries.
The recipient was New Zealander Clint Hallam, but he refused to take the anti-rejection drugs, and in 2001 his new hand died on his arm and was removed. But if you get the right patient, the results can be spectacular. Austrian policeman Theo Keltz had a double hand transplant in 2000. when Tara Brown met him 2 years later, there was little he couldn't do.
In the beginning, after the transplantation, it's very, very difficult to write.
And now?
No, it's not a problem.
It's a very nice match. Firstly, it's a right hand, and that's the right one. But it looks, I think, very natural.
We're now at the business end of Plummer's operation.
I've done all the arteries and the veins and nerves and tendons.
After 9 hours, the final touches.
Now you can see the fellow's had a suntan by the look of it compared to the other chap.
It's remarkable to see Plummer's new hand. Professor Morrison and his team are understandably tired, but rightly happy. It's no surprise Plummer Walsh wakes up a new man.
Where's the plumber?
And as news of his surgery spreads, he even gets a surprise hospital visit.
Shane Warren.
Margaret?
Hi.
Hi, Shane.
Plummer's long admired what Shane Warne can do with his right hand.
It didn't take long to sum up Gaddings.
That was a fluke, mate. It's a fluke. David Booth.
And you get the impression Warney is equally impressed with Plumbers.
The pain could actually open the batting
Open the
too.
bat. Open the bat and keep.
Maybe you should be selector.
Yeah, I know.
Why don't you put your hand up and be selector?
Buddy.
We're all good now, so you can be selector.
Yeah.
And straightening again.
A few days ago, I caught up with Plummer once again.
See,
We can visualise.
We could probably put a pot in it.
I think you could.
With a handle.
Yeah.
It's been more than a month now since he and his new hand have been united. And it seems they're getting along just fine.
And straightening again. Is your hand?
There is the big question. In your own words, have you been able to pick your nose or scratch your bum yet?
I haven't picked my nose.
I know you had a rough trot, but aren't you a lucky man?
Yeah. A good gift. Good gift, you know. Lucky. Some people are unlucky. Some families unlucky, but he left a gift, didn't he? And I was the one to get it. Yeah.
Last year, we brought you the story of Victorian granddad Peter Walsh, Australia's first hand transplant recipient. For Australian medicine, it was a giant leap into the extraordinary world of limb transplant surgery. And for the sports-mad plumber with a brand new hand, it's been life-changing. Indeed, the progress he's managed in just over 12 months needs to be seen to be believed. You'll find a no more willing lawnmower in all of Australia these days than Peter Walsh. Why does he like doing this? Because he can. A new right hand has given Peter, or Plummer as he's known, a wonderful new life.
It's hard to remember me without it now. You know, I don't know how I used to do things. And I probably didn't do anything much.
Mowing the lawn or driving a car, what we take for granted had long been denied to Plummer. He may be a man of few words, but his determination to reclaim his life, to be normal, is inspiring to see. So, is this one of yours?
Yes, yeah.
I first met Plummer early last year, before his transplant. Back then, he told me how, in 2006, he'd been struck down with pneumococcal disease, and the only way doctors could save his life was by amputating his hands and feet.
I knew I was in trouble 2 or 3 days with the hands because I couldn't move them. Couldn't move my fingers. They were dead. And then just gradually went black.
Saying goodbye.
With no limbs, Plummer's future looked grim.
That's going to join up with the median nerve on this side.
But microsurgeon Professor Wayne Morrison came to the rescue.
You can see the fella's had a suntan by the look of it.
And last March, in a 10-hour operation at Melbourne St Vincent's Hospital, he gave Plummer a new hand and new hope.
I know you had a rough trot, but aren't you a lucky man?
Yeah, a good gift. Good gift, you know. Lucky. Some people are unlucky. Some families unlucky, but he left a gift, didn't he? And I was the one to get it.
Where's the plumber?
In the weeks following the historic operation, Plummer became quite a celebrity.
Shane Warren.
Hi, Shane.
But the real work came in stopping Plummer's body rejecting the new limb and getting the new hand working.
I did think before I got it they would stick it on and it'd work pretty well straight away, but by hell it don't.
Morning, Wayne. How are you? Good. Come and sit down. Haven't seen you for quite a while now.
To mark the anniversary of the surgery, Plummer recently met up with Professor Morrison.
Now just make a fist for me. Show me. Excellent.
And was clearly happy to show off.
How'd you go about writing?
It takes a bit to impress Wayne Morrison, but this patient succeeded.
Peter Walsh, there he is, Plummer. And say, can you sign a cheque?
Sign a cheque, they haven't bounced yet.
He's looking much better, healthier, he's less grumpy, and he's really on top of his game. Back again, he's the old Plummer, I think.
Hand, that was...
Back at his wife Margaret, there's still a long way to go.
I can do most things. And it'll get better, I reckon it's 50% now. So I'm hoping in another 12 months it might be somewhere near 100%.